to the Apple Bowl this afternoon's BC-FC semi-final game featuring the visiting VI Raiders and your Okanagan Sun. This time the Okanagan Sun would like to thank JDS Energy and Mining, a major sponsor of the football team and their scholarship fund. We'd also like to thank some of our other corporate partners, Al Stover Construction, Pacific Western Brewing, Rona Home and Garden, Chances Gaming and Entertainment, Waits Barbecue, Macintosh Developments, Greyhawk Industries Limited, and of course your Ford. Don't forget the 50-50 tickets are once again online and available for the playoff run at OkanaganSun.ca. The final draw will be next Saturday at the Cullen Cup game. So you have 1 week to buy your tickets online. Again, that's at OkanaganSun.ca. The Sunrise Rotary Beer Garden has 2 locations in the stadium today. As an entirely licensed facility, you may consume beverages in any part of the Apple Bowl. Sales stop at the end of the third quarter. Please respect this privilege and drink responsibly. Also, our concession stand is open beside the main bleachers until the end of this afternoon's game. And a reminder as well that today's game does fall under interior and provincial COVID guidelines. And also at this afternoon's game, our Rotary friends are selling Advent calendars under the tent, which is set up near the main entrance of the Apple Bowl. Give the gift of giving back each day between December 1st and 24th. Open a door for a chance to win airfare, ski packages, a supercar experience, bread for a year, and Okanagan Sun tickets. Over $62,000 in prizes from local businesses. It's all in support of the KGH Neonatal Intensive Care Unit and Child Advocacy Center. Get your calendar today for just $20. Again, under the tent near the main entrance. And you can also pick them up at Save On Tours. Once again, welcome to this afternoon's BCFC semi-final. Welcome to the field. The visitors this afternoon already at their bench, the VI Raiders.
Here comes the sun, it's alright. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, here comes the sun, here comes the sun.
Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls celebrating 40 years of junior football in Kelowna, here are your Okanagan Sun.
Yeah.
takes the handoff. He plays towards the end zone and he's caught.
Semi-final Saturday here at BCFC, the visiting Vancouver Island Raiders here to play the home side Okanagan Sun in our 2-3 matchup. We're looking forward to getting underway. We've got the anthems coming in a couple more minutes here. Jason, what are you expecting today just before we break?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the two high-powered offenses. We've got the all-star quarterback with the VI Raiders, the #1 rated receiver as well with Bonnet Plume on the VI Raiders, so I'm excited to see what they do against the Okanagan Sun defense. And then, of course, the high-powered offense with the Sun as well. So I'm hoping to see a good tilt back and forth, a lot of good drives up and down the field, and put some points on the board.
Pause just for a second for the anthem here.
Home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We're back here at the Apple Bowl. Once again, I'm Tyler McLaren, joined by Jason Casey. And again, these two teams met a few weeks back. Jason, the Sun were pretty dominant in that game, a 70-25 victory. You wonder if there's anything that they could take away from that game, or if the Raiders might look at that, throw that one out after watching some film and get back to the drawing board and not think too much about that one. Or do you think they review that film, review what they did, the good, the bad, the ugly, and use that to today's game?
I think the VI Raiders will take a look at that and see what did we do wrong, like glaringly wrong. What really did we not help ourselves against the Okanagan Sun? That said, the Okanagan Sun are well balanced in the air and on the ground. It's not like they're a one-dimensional offensive team. So, you know, the VI Raiders can't put all their ducks in one basket and say, okay, we're going to stop the run and we're going to be golden. I think that's where their priority should be. I think they need to take Miller, the stud running back for the Okanagan Sun, out for sure. He can run the ball and he can go out in the passing, but if you can make the Sun be one-dimensional, I would prefer to have them have to go to the air in the cold temperatures and playoff football in Canada. But that's easier said than done. Miller's no slouch. They've got an exceptional O-line on the Sun, so that's what I'm expecting to see. The VI Raiders concentrating on shutting down the run. And then the flip side, the Sun, I think they got to take LeBerge and Bonnet Plume out of the action. They got to stop the VI Raider pass attack. That's what I think the two defenses will likely key on.
Good conditions here today at the Apple Bowl. It's a cool day today, but no rain yet. We'll see what happens later on in the day, but I tend to agree with you. I think Malcolm Miller, the Sun stud running back who broke an Okanagan Sun team record, I think that's where it starts. And the VI Raiders, I remember the game in VI in Nanaimo, the Raiders had no answer to stop the run, and that was a big problem, especially in the second half where the Sun just wore them down, and then you saw more Malcolm Miller, and I think that day he broke a team record with over 300 yards rushing. So we'll see what we're going to get into today. Good conditions though to throw the ball, so we'll see what happens as they kick off.
Exactly, yeah, and that's so demoralizing for a defense when you can't stop the run. You know, when a caliber offense, you know, they got a great O-line with the Okanagan Sun, and like we said, Miller's a great running back. Those kinds of teams are going to get their yards. They're going to get their yards. They're going to put maybe 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns on the board. But when you cannot stop them at any given drive, it's just demoralizing for the defense. It prolongs the game. It just really, really knocks down your team. So, yeah, the VI Raiders, when you know someone's cracking a 300-yard day on you, it's really, really tough. to come back in the second half and try and make adjustments and turn the tides. But hopefully with the film that they saw and how they continue to progress during the season, they can get something where, oh, hey, maybe we only get Miller averaging 4 to 6 yards a carry as opposed to that 8, 9, or 10 yards a carry. So if they can force them into second and long, that'll be a huge victory for the VI Raiders defense.
We're almost set for kickoff here today, folks. The Sun will be wearing their new oranges, bright oranges. We saw those last week in the game against the Langley Rams. They also have their retro logo on there.
Throwback Sun logo, yeah.
The throwback logo on the Sun helmet this week. So they'll be in their familiar, semi-familiar orange with the white and black trim. The Raiders will be in their road whites with the black and red trim. So the Raiders will be kicking off to start the game. They'll be going from our right to our left. Sun will be receiving, going from our left to right as we get set. Lights are on and playoff football's here.
Here we go.
Mike O'Shea will be deep for the Sun to return. And we're going to try and catch some numbers here. It looks like
Also Sibley, number 9.
Yeah, Sibley. The Raiders are set to kick off. Number 24, short kick in the direction of Sibley. He's got it around his 23-yard line, comes to his left, trying to get around the corner. The Sun have some blockers out front. Look out, there's a lead blocks. Lots of blockers as he's at midfield, the 50, the 40, down the sidelines. He's going to score. Great start for the Okanagan Sun. No flags on the field. That is the way that the Okanagan Sun will want to start this playoff game as they lead 6-0 on the big return by Sibley.
The Okanagan Sun are so well coached on their return game. Their kickoff returns and their punt returns are so good at setting up a wall. So you'll see on this replay, you'll see on the top side here, they're so good at setting up a wall. You see all those orange jerseys starting to come. Those are 3 blockers in front of Sibley returning, setting up that wall. It's so tough to try and get someone out there. If you don't commit to at least 1 or 2 guys having contain against a Sibley or an O'Shea, they're going to get yardage, if not put points on you on any given return.
And you can see on the replay there, we just caught the tail end of it. The Raiders were more in a bunch kickoff formation too, so
yeah,
they really didn't expand out. Those contain guys didn't really contain.
Yeah, no, you've got to commit at least 1 or 2 guys out there saying, hey, no matter what, you're not getting the sidelines on us, and force them into where all the meat of your coverage guys are. Give up 1 or 2, let the other 8, 9, 10 guys swarm for those tackles, but once a Sibley or a Shea gets those sidelines, they're so talented at using their blocks and getting up that sideline that, yeah, not more often than not, they're going to get to the end zone.
Cavalry of orange jerseys escorted Sibley into the end zone. Great start for the Okanagan Sun. They did get the extra point by Liam Atwood, so the score very early here at the Apple Bowl, just 15 seconds into the game. Can't ask for a better start.
If you're the Okanagan Sun, that's right into your game plan, absolutely.
Just like they draw it up.
Exactly, yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Why can't you do that every time?
Exactly.
Look easy, yeah.
So now the Sun will be kicking off after the quick score. Once again, thanks for joining us on bcfctv.com. Tyler McLaren here with Jason Casey. Just real quick start for the Sun. 7-0 they lead. They will now be kicking off. And we will see who's deep. It's hard to see with the...
Looks like Will Adams and Dylan Pye.
And number 6, Dylan Pye deep. As the Sun will be kicking off here. Good kick, high kick. Coming down to Pye at around his 15. We'll see what he can do here, up to the 25. Stutter Scout comes to his right, brought down there by a host of orange jerseys. Looks like number 30 was a big part of that one. Tristan Peddle with the tackle for the Sun. Good downfield coverage by the Sun on their first kickoff.
Yeah, good coverage. As you said, a lot of hang time on that, which allows your coverage team to get down there nice and quick. You don't have to worry about too much depth when you do have that hang time. Live balls on kickoff, so why not put a lot of air under it, let your guys run downfield, get that containment, and then make the tackle. Good return by Pye as well, though.
So 1st and 10 now, the Raiders will scrimmage their first offensive series of the day. Jake LeBears will be in at quarterback. Henderson, his lone running back there. 3 receivers to the far side of the field, 2 to the left. LeBears takes a handoff, hands it off to Henderson off the right side. Trying to push the pile a little bit there. Not much on the play there as number 95 Stockwood was in on the tackle, but good job there by the Sun, limiting the gain to about 3 on the play.
Yeah, good job with the linebackers too to get in there. That was Tyler Going that got in there with Romario Reed. So linebackers are really good at reading the offensive blocking scheme of the old linemen, wherever they're playing, and they come downhill and fill it well. But yeah, when you got a Stockwood or a Thomas in front of you, it makes it easier for those linebackers to get in there because they know they're not going to get blocked at the second level.
Second down, we'll call it 7 here. LeBears is in the shotgun. Henderson's behind him. 3 receivers to his left. Two to his right, looks to his left, now comes back to the right. Under pressure there, and he's going to try and get away. He does get away from the first wave, but the second wave of Sun defenders was able to drag him down. That will be a very short gain on the play. Brings up third down, and the punt team will come out for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's still third and long, which is unfortunate. It was good coverage downfield by the Sun, so he took away the reads for LeBerge. But, yeah, he broke a tackle from Thomas. Thomas is an all-star defensive lineman, so if you can break a tackle from him, it's a great opportunity that he could possibly have scrambled to a first down. But, again, the swarming defensive front of the Sun were there to clean it up.
I think that's number 42. We'll get a number there. Moran on the punt, I believe. High snap. He's able to pull it down. Now he's in big trouble. Does kick it away barely. That's going to get back to O'Shea standing right around midfield. He picks it up. Now tries to reverse his field, come back to the right. Raiders do a better job here. O'Shea, not much to do there. He will be dropped down around the Okanagan Sun 47-yard line. Better downfield coverage there by the VI Raiders as the Raiders had to improvise on that punt. So based on the snap and what could have happened, not a bad result for the VI Raiders there.
Absolutely. It started ugly and scary when you have a snap like that. It could have easily just been a tackle right there at the spot. It would have been, a third or first down for the Sun inside the red zone of the Raiders as well. So great job on the VI to get down there after a bad snap and a mediocre kick to get the field position they have.
Dom Britton started at quarterback for the Sun. He's got Malcolm Miller right behind him. Three receivers to his right. Fakes the handoff to Miller. Now he's going to look down the middle of the seam. He's got his man. Good catch there by the Sun, as that was I believe it's number 9, Sibley. There is flags on the play. We'll see what those flags are. The Sun seem to be coming back. So
usually it's holding when you see that right in the backfield, which is too bad because that was a great play action pass right away. You're used to, especially when they see Zakala. When you see number 85 Zakala, when he's lined up like a fullback and you play action pass to Miller, that's usually a great run play for the Sun. So if you can make those linebackers bite, open up that downfield coverage. I'm not sure if they had a cut call or not. Adams, number 2, the corner on that weak side of the field, allowed Sibley to get in behind him. So I don't know if he was reading run and got caught flat-footed, but great read by Britton to find Sibley wide open downfield. Big play that gets pulled back, and that's been a problem with the Sun. Often they get penalties that cost them.
So now 1st and 20 after the 10-yard penalty. Britton in the shotgun. He's by himself. Passing situation here. Gets Miller out of the backfield to his left. Makes a man miss. Dragged down on the play. I believe that's Adams out there, number 2, Sean Adams, and a couple other VI Raiders with the tackle. So a good job there by the Raiders as they will hold it to a 2nd and long situation.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Murray was in there with him as well. So good swarming defense. When you get Miller in the open field like that, there was 2 guys to make miss. If it was 1, Miller probably would have converted that to an even bigger gain. If not, stretch it to the first down. But I think the VI Raiders are going to key on him, whether it's a run or him leaking out into those screens and flat passes, and they've got to shut Miller down.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15 now for the Sun. Britton's in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Passing situation here. Britton's looking down the field. He's got good protection. Now he throws it out here to the seam. It's number 81. He's got it, and with the second effort there,
Beauchemin just short, I think.
You think? Yeah, looking at that spot, it looks like he's going to be a little bit short. Good effort by Beauchemin there as he was trying to keep on his feet just enough. He knew where the first down marker was, but he just didn't have enough quite there, and it looks like the punt team will come out.
Yeah, good presence on him to be away from where the sticks are, so he knew what he had to try and do to get there. And great pass by Britton. Showed good poise in the pocket. He's got some great old linemen that allow him that, and he made his read progression. And then as he thought about scrambling, saw Beauchemin out the sidelines. It was a long throw, but accurate throw, and darn near got that first down conversion.
3rd, and we'll call it 1 here. Wagner will be deep punting for the Sun, back deep in the end zone, or in the 10-yard line or so for the Raiders. Good snap. Wagner hits his right foot on the ball. Good high
beauty kick.
Bringing it down to about the 15 by number 38, Will Adams. Great downfield tackle there by the Sun. Number 12, it looked like on that play.
Jonah Williams, great open field tackle.
Yeah, he was by himself. He made a great tackle there. Good downfield coverage by the Sun. Raiders will start off deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and again, it's like we mentioned with the kickoff, when you get that much air, when you can get a punt with that kind of hang time, again, it allows your team to block, allow to get the punt off, and then get downfield for that coverage. When you can get downfield and be within that 5 to 8 yard range right as the returner is catching the ball, you're able to make those tackles for no gains right away.
Second series of the day for the Raiders. LeBerge barks the signal. Henderson's right behind him. Hands the ball off the left side. Good job there by the Sun defensive line and linebackers. Stockwood was in on that play as well again, and a couple other Sun defenders limiting that gain off the left side to maybe a couple on the play. Good job by the Sun front.
Yeah, I can see why the VR Raiders are trying to get Henderson in the game to try and open up their passing attack. But it's obvious that the front seven for the Okanagan Sun are going to shut that down. They're going to force the Raiders to be one-dimensional. And when you're getting 2nd and 9, that's a great victory for the Sun defense.
Passing situation here for LeBears as he looks down the middle of the field. Again, under pressure, he's going to be trying to get away. He does somehow get away from all of that. Great job by Jake LeBears. Now he's going to try and use his legs to get the first down. He's probably going to be a little bit short there, but I thought LeBears was dead in the backfield, so good job there by getting some positive yards. Does that look to be nothing? No, it looks like it is enough for the first down.
Absolutely. That pocket looked like it closed so quick and so tight. I have no idea how he was able to keep his feet. He's obviously a very powerful, stocky kid, but when you've got like a Stockwood and a Thomas bearing down on you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get dumped on your backside. So for him to keep his balance and scramble out for a first down, very impressive by LeBears.
9:22 left, first quarter. Sun leading 7-0 off the opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Sibley. Now Raiders scrimmaging 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. LeBears fakes the throw, looks down the middle of the seam. Ball was tipped, incomplete, looking in the direction of Alex Bonaplum. But good job there by the Sun defenders getting their hands up and knocking that one down.
Yeah, I think that was it was either Ryder or Ms. Obeng that got the tips on there, and that's great when you're dropping into zone coverage like that as the linebackers. When you read that play action pass, sit nice and squat in your zone, bait that quarterback throwing a lower ball, and get your mitts up and knock that down. That was a great defensive play.
2nd and 10 here now for the Raiders. 4 receivers to our near side here, 1 to the far side. The Bears fakes the handoff, now looking out in the flat. He's going to take a shot from Aaron Bradbrook. He's, incomplete. Had his man up around the 53-yard line. Would have been a tough catch, but I think in these types of situations, Bradbrook should have come down with that one, but that'll bring up 3rd down and the punt team will come out.
Yeah, good job on Bradbrook reading that ball in the air, because the Wagner, who is the coverage number 7 for the Okanagan Sun, he lost it in the air, and that's where that little bit of separation. Yeah, it was towards the sidelines for Bradbrook to have to get out there and make that play, but that's exactly where you want that ball to be, because there's no opportunity for an interception. So yeah, absolutely, the receivers got to help LeBears out and come down with that.
Moran will punt again. Donovan Small standing around his own 45-yard line for the Sun. Better snap this time. Short kick to the right here. That looks like it's going to be out of bounds. Probably around the VI 50-yard line-ish. We'll see where they mark it. Right at the 50-yard line. So a bit of a kick off the side of the foot. Sun will have good field position here. Scrimmaging 1st and 10 from the Raider 50-yard line.
Yeah, and I can see why they're doing that. Obviously, they want to keep the ball as much as they can pinned against the sidelines or out of bounds, out of the return hands. That was Donovan Small that was back there. It wasn't a Sibley or an O'Shea, but all 3 of them are equally dangerous. So for sure, you want to get that deep punt, but this was a little shorter, went out of bounds a lot sooner than the VI Raiders would have wanted.
Good field position here for the Sun as Britton's in the shotgun. Malcolm Miller standing right behind him. Early movement there.
Left tackle.
We'll see where they both. I love it when both teams point to the other side. That's usual football football tactics as both sides try and influence the referees one way or another.
Yeah, and it did look like it was the all-star left tackle Daniel Townsend for the Okanagan Sun that jumped, so he was obviously getting a little antsy out of his stance to try and smack a VI Raider on that play. Sun
are moving backwards here as we'll sort this out with the referees, but likely a false start or a procedure, I guess, on the play. As we'll get they'll call from head referee Sandy Baines. It is a false start by the Sun, so that'll set up a 1st and 15 as the Sun will move back 5 yards, but still very good field position for the Sun as they're 1st and 15 on the 55-yard line here. We're just about almost 7 minutes into the first quarter. Sun leading 7-0 after the opening kickoff touchdown. Looking for more here. As they will be 1st and 15. Britton's in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to look like early movement again on the far side. Britton's going to take a shot right down the seam. He's got Sakala. Got him down around the 25-yard line. Finally tackled around the 14. Big play there by Britton to Sakala as he went right down the seam. Raiders had no answer. That's a big play.
We've seen that happen so many times this season. Sakala is such a big guy. You don't know how he gets behind these coverages, especially in his own coverage. But he gets across. You see him coming off the line. That's him as close as going down. But the defenders, the halfbacks and linebackers whose face he crosses first, they're not getting hands on him to slow him down. He's a big guy. As you're dropping into your zone coverage, you got to get a hand on his hip or his shoulders to slow him down as he's going by you. Otherwise, it's too hard for the deep coverage to try and get over there to cover him.
Big gain there for the Sun. Now they're knocking on the door. Britton's in the shotgun again. Fakes the handoff to Malcolm Miller, looking for a receiver. Now throws it, intercepted there. That is not a good throw by the Raiders. Will bring it out. So they will bring it out. They'll be tackled around the 2-yard line.
And that was the All-Star McNally Hardestay that got that.
I was going to say, not a good throw there by Don Britton. As you can see, Givon just read that perfectly, sat there, and that was not a good throw by Don Britton. He would like to have that one back.
No, I could see initially where he was thinking he wanted to go. But after he makes that first clutch, he was stepping up to his right. That was the passing lane, and then he had to step back kind of into the center of the pocket, and that's where he lost McNally Hardestay on that. He thought his receiver was open, and Hardestay was just sitting there in that zone coverage, and an easy pick for the defender.
McNally Hardestay, a perennial All-Canadian the last few years, with a big pick there. Raiders will be scrimmaging deep in their territory. The Bears hands the ball off. Henderson's got some traction there. Good gain as they're trying to push the pile there. Henderson's still driving his feet. That's a heck of an effort as he finally gets tackled around the 14-yard line. He should have enough for a first down to play after that effort by Henderson.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering the previous 4 or 5 times he's run the ball, he was maybe getting 2.5 yards a carry. To get 11 or 12, starting from your own 2-yard line, that's an impressive run by himself and the O-lineman on that play.
You can see Henderson. Henderson's not an overly big guy, but he's got big legs. You can see they were churning there. Exactly like what the coaches like to see. Keep your legs going. They do pick up enough for the first down. Raiders get out of the shadows of their own goalpost as they're scrimmaging 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line. The Bears in the shotgun. Now he's looking to pass. Going to take a shot down the field in the direction of Bonaplume. He's got his, incomplete. That's a heck of a play. I think you'll see Garrett Cape's hand come in there.
That was a beauty defense, yeah.
Beautiful play there as All-Star to All-Star was that tandem from Bonaplume and Cape. I thought for sure that was going to be a catch when this was thrown, but kudos to Garrett Cape. As you'll see right there, he just comes over top, knocking that ball out.
Great play call by the VI Raiders. Great route by Bonaplume. And as you said, All-Star versus All-Star. You got the receiver that's just about to tuck that ball away and have a huge gain, and Garrett able to sweep over his shoulder and knock that ball out. So impressive on both sides.
He might have been able to turn the corner and get more yards.
Absolutely, yep.
So big play there by the Sun defense. 2nd and 10 now. The Raiders are looking at a passing situation again. Going to take another shot. Same type of play in the direction of Bonaplume. Double coverage there by the Sun. Nothing was going to really happen that time. Good coverage there by the Sun. That'll bring up 3rd down as they went to the well twice looking for Alex Bonaplume.
Yeah, exact same play. It looked like the previous play that was knocked down was in man coverage, and that's why it was open on the outside towards the sidelines. On this last play, it looked like they were in a cover 3 because you had Garrett as a safety, and then Wagner, number 7, was in that deep 3rd on the wide side, and he was able to double team Bonaplume, as you mentioned.
Sun should get good field position here as Moran standing around his own goal line, takes a snap, kicks the ball off, short line drive type kick in the direction right at the 50-yard line. Donovan Small trying to get the corner as well. Raiders do a better job. They just can't make the tackle. Number 41 was in a good spot. Finally brought down there. A little bit better job there, but the Raiders could have held him about 5 yards further back. But they could tell they were trying to set that wall up around the left-hand side. But good field positions for the Sun here as they'll take the field on offense.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, number 41, Tyler Ruck, good job of getting on the outside of that wall, forcing Small to make a decision if he was going to cut up or not. So good coverage. Didn't make the open field tackle. Like you said, he got an extra 5 or 7 yards probably than he normally would have. But it was a good chance for Ruck to get down there and make that play.
So Sun have good field position here again, looking to get on the board for the offense. The first time today, they are leading 7-0. Britton's in the shotgun, hands the ball off to Miller off the right side, cuts, jukes, probably gets about 3, maybe 4 on the play, depending on the spot. Good flow there by the Raider defense, limiting Miller to a short gain. Because I thought, again, if he was able to cut, stutter, step back, he might have been able to get more yards.
Yeah, I think there was a cutback lane there, but the linebackers on that second level for the VI Raiders, they were swarming quickly, which is good. I think the Sun have to start establishing Miller. They got to keep that defense honest on the VI side. They know that the deep ball has been there. Now they got to start establishing their stud running game.
2nd and 7, we'll call it here. Britton still in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Fakes and no, they do hand it off to Miller. Now he cuts off the left side. Good tackle there, as we'll see who was able to first bring down the Raider defender. We'll get a number there. It looks like number 79, Doyle Westland was able to corral him, Miller there. I thought he would have had enough for the first down, but Kudos, no, number 2, excuse me. That's who made that play. Sean Adams. Good open field tackle on a guy like Miller. That's a tough play.
Oh, yeah, I thought Miller was going to get that corner and easily convert a first down. So good pursuit. That's able to close that distance at him and make Miller slow down. You don't have to go for a kill shot when you're the first man in on someone like Miller's, because oftentimes he's going to make you miss. But if you can slow him down, wrap him up, and let your teammates come in and finish the job, that's exactly what you want to see the VI Raiders do.
So 3rd and 4 here, we'll call it. Just under 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. 7-0 for the Okanagan Sun, leading the VI Raiders. Wagner will be punting. Will Adams looks to be standing about 10 yards deep in his end zone. See if there's any fake here potential for the Sun. They will kick it. Wagner boots it, trying to angle it towards the sidelines. Looks like a pretty good kick. We'll see where they mark it. Look to be around the 7 or 8 yard line. So good kick by Isaac Wagner. Once again, the Raiders will be scrimmaging deep in their own territory.
Yeah, good job. They're trying to pin him as deep as they could. So putting the Raiders back on their own 15-yard line is a good consolation, I guess you could say, for the Okanagan Sun offense on that drive. But with the big plays they've converted on the passing game and to still not put up any points, I think the coaching staff, so Coach Borum and the OC, Coach Miller, have got to start getting their offense and say, hey, we need at least to start getting field goals. We got an all-star field goal kicker. Start getting 3 points every time, if not get the 7.
Sun scoring off the first possession, like you said, off the opening kickoff, but nothing since. Raiders now have the ball. Hands the ball off the left side. Henderson looking for positive yards again. Good gain on first down there. They'll probably have close to about 5 or 6. Henderson did have some good push off that left side. Positive, actually about good 6-7 yards there for Henderson. So positive gain there on first down.
Yeah, and I think the VI Raiders are going to start seeing some confidence get into this offensive system here for the VI Raiders. They're started establishing that 5, 6, 7 yards of carry by Henderson, and they also know they've had some opportunities with the deep ball. They can get the receivers open, so they're going to start getting some first downs here.
LeBear's in the shotgun, looks quickly out to his right. Bradbrook's there. He's got it around the 29-yard line and reaching across. More than enough for the first down, as he will be just over his own 30-yard line. Good quick pass catch from LeBear's to Bradbrook. They'll move the sticks now across their own 30-yard line.
And that's some good scheming by the VI Raiders offensive coaching staff. They know they're getting the run established, so now start getting those quick hitters. If you're going to drop back either a play action or a 3-step drop pass system, look for your receivers in that 7, 8, 9-yard hook depth, and that's where you get your first down conversions.
The Bears in the shotgun again, 3 receiver, high snap. He's able to pull it down. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Going to take off, get what he can. Probably gains about 1 or 2 before he slides down just shy of the 35-yard line. High snap there. You'll see LeBear's kind of lost his timing on that play there, but good job by him to be able to pull that one down, or it could have been big trouble.
Yeah, when you got Stockwood and Thomas on the same side, obviously the Bears can see that, and he's scrambling to his right. But good job on, I think it was Romero Reed, the linebacker, containing LeBear's on that wide side and forcing him just to slide down.
Passing situation here for the Raiders as they'll be second and about 7. LeBear blitz looks to be coming. Now they back out. LeBear's looks to his right, throws to his right. He's got number 1. Good move. First down for the Sun, as that was number 1 for the VI Raiders. Taylor Becker didn't originally have the first down after the catch, but kudos to him. He was able to jet inside, pick up enough yards to get the first down.
Yeah, and go for those high percentage catches as well, right? The Raiders have stretched the field. They've gone deep 3-4 times, knowing they could have easily converted 2 of them on either side of the field right now. But now they've got a good system going. They've got Henderson getting that 3-4 yards. You get that second into mid-range, get your receivers into those quick hitters at that 6, 7, 8 yards, and keep moving those chains.
Good job by the Raiders as they get some field position. Sun looked to be coming with a blitz. Handoff again off the left side. Much better play there by the Okanagan Sun defense. Nothing really to go. Henderson didn't really get his legs underneath him as the Sun really stretched that one out. Nice tackle on the play by number 54, it looks like, for the Sun, as that was Tyrese Rockwell, but better flow there by the Okanagan Sun defense.
Yeah, good call. As to call a blitz on something like that, knowing that regardless if it's a run play, they're going to stuff Henderson, or if it's pass, they're going to get to LeBear's quick before he can make his read and do a quick pass. Good call by the defensive coaching staff of the Sun.
Looked to be an injured Raider on the play, as that is Henderson. He's a little bit slow to get to his feet. Might have got hit where he doesn't want to get hit on that particular play, as we see on the replay.
We can see on the replay. We don't have to, point it out. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll let you at home figure out that injury, as we expect him back hopefully very soon. He comes off the field on his own power, so that's good to see. So good job here by the Raiders, though. They moved the ball okay. You thought after the first kick return touchdown they might be on their heels a little bit, but I think they've responded well.
Yeah, their offense is moving the ball really well. They're doing a great job at play calling, and now the first time they've seen a 2nd and long. Let's see if they can convert this.
LeBear's in the shotgun now. Sun do come with 5 on the play. LeBear's going to take a shot. High throw right around midfield, looking for Dylan Pye. He would have had the first down, as that was right up by the first down markers, but the throw seemed to sail a little bit on LeBear's, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Yeah, and that could have been the pressure that in LeBear's face, just kind of forcing him to have a higher release to get that ball off. He did have his receiver there, as you said. If they were able to complete it, it would have been right at that first down marker. But Pye tried to go up for it, knowing he was going to take a hit. Good kudos to him to go up, knowing that whether he caught the ball or not, he was going to take a lick trying to convert that. So Raiders will be punting again. Sun looked to be coming with the blitz or pressure. Moran's able to kick it off. Again, another short kick fielded around the 42-yard line. Michael O'Shea coming to our near side here, steps out of bounds, tackled on the play, or stepped out of bounds right around the 53-yard line. Once again, good field position by the Okanagan Sun, as Raiders aren't able to out-kick and get themselves out of a bit of trouble and tilt that field, as they haven't been able to boom one yet today.
No, the Raiders, since that opening kickoff, have been losing the field position game. Good job. They're consistently moving the ball well out of their own deep end. But that said, the Sun, now they've got to start converting on that. The Sun have to start taking advantage of the field position their defense have been providing for them, and they've got to start putting those points on the board. And then, yeah, when you get someone like Michael O'Shea who uses the sidelines so well on his return game, it's just a matter of time before he breaks one. So the VI Raiders got to start regaining this field position advantage.
We'll flip sides here as we're now in the 2nd quarter. 7-0 Sun lead after the 1st quarter here. Flipping sides now. Sun will be going from our right to our left as they'll scrimmage 1st and 10 right at midfield. Don Britton's in the shotgun. He's going to look down the field. Good protection. Now he's going to come out to his left side there. Flags all over the field. Ball was caught incomplete on the play as it in and out of the hands of the Sun receiver. But I think this one's going to come back with a holding call.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get another holding call against the Sun, and good defense by Will Adams there. He was kind of in the passing lane forcing a tough throw by Dominic, but good coverage. He did have a man deep downfield over the middle, but when you're scrambling to your left as a right-handed quarterback, you don't teach them to throw back across your body, and it's tough to do regardless. But yeah, good job on the defense pressure for the VI Raiders and the coverage downfield as they force Britton to throw on the run.
So 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Sun scrimmaging at their own 45-yard line. Haven't really established Malcolm Miller yet. It's been a lot of passing for the Sun thus far. We'll see what they do here with 3 receivers to Britton's right, 2 to his left. Barks the signals. Now he's going to step back to throw. Looking down the seam again. Coming to Michael O'Shea. What a catch there by Michael O'Shea. You can see this, the Raider defender, he kind of undercut it, thinking it wasn't going to be able to caught. O'Shea was able to kind of tip it up to himself and bring it down inside the Raider, right at the Raider 35-yard line.
And we'll see on this replay, Britton put that on a laser. He knew he had to get it in there between those 2 defenders, but it did. I was expecting that to be overthrown and dropped, but it just shows the caliber of an all-star receiver like Michael O'Shea. Concentrated it over your shoulder, and to catch it like that, that's top-notch play right there by Michael O'Shea.
Great catch by O'Shea. That'll make the Sun scrimmaging 1st and 10 now at the Raider 30-yard line, knocking at the door. Trying to get their first offensive points of the day. Dom's going to throw the ball. He's got it high. That's going to be intercepted there. I believe that's Jivan McNally Hardesty again. He's got some blockers outside as he comes to the left. Finally knocked out of bounds around the 37-yard line. Big defensive play. You'll see on the replay the ball kind of sails a little bit, and Jivan McNally Hardesty is standing right on the doorstep for the Raiders. Big defensive play for the Raiders.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a bad throw by Dominic Britton, because he had to throw it over the head of the zone coverage linebacker, number 43, Jacob Gillum, was back there, forcing Hit to have to thread the needle. And when you've got a big target like Zakala, you wouldn't think it'd be an issue. But yeah, the receivers got to come down with balls like that, or you're going to see it when it's tipped up in the air like that. You get these ball hawk defenders, especially when an all-star McNally Hardesty is around there. Already he's got 2 picks in the game. The Sun need to start converting on these offensive drives. But I tip my hat to the VI Raiders defense right now.
Big play by the Raiders. Good field position now as they'll hand the ball off. Oh, nothing there as the Sun just swarmed that one. Number 42.
Peyton Ryder on the blitz.
With a big stick there as they didn't even get any traction and he was right in the backfield. That'll be a loss on the play for the Raiders. That'll be about a 4 or 5 yard loss. Big play by Ryder and the defense.
Yeah, I think Ryder was going to be smacking Henderson, whether it was a run play or a play action pass. So kudos to him on that pressure to stop them like that. This is going to be the biggest second and long that we've seen the Raiders have now. So in their own end, let's see if they've got a play where they can convert this and stretch that coverage team by the Sun.
Passing situation here for LeBerge in the offense. Blitz looks to be coming by the Sun. Off the edge is Tyler going. He's going to get right in there. He doesn't bring him down, but his buddies will. That'll be a sack there by the Sun defense as LeBerge had nowhere to go, and you'll see Tyler going. He started that, and the rest of the Okanagan Sun defense rallied to bring down LeBerge.
Yeah, good coverage by the Sun defense in the when you're sending pressure like that, it's usually cover zero, so you've got to get to the quarterback quick. And again, another all-star Tyler going. He comes off, he times it perfectly coming off the edge. He was in the backfield so quick, LeBerge knew he didn't have a chance, but he did make him miss. But when you've got so much talent on that front seven for the Okanagan Sun, if you don't get out of that pocket quick enough, you're going to get dumped.
Raiders now can't do anything with arguably their best field position of the day. They'll be punting here. Sun should get good field position again as Moran stands at his own 15-yard line. Good snap there. Kicks the ball. Better kick. It's angling to the left, right around midfield. Up the sidelines, straight up the sidelines. Look out. As we'll see, he stepped out of bounds on the play. That was number 11, Donovan Small. Good return there as he caught that one in flight and just went straight down the sideline before the Raiders were able to knock him out of bounds.
Yeah, when the kick is that far to the side and that short, your coverage team doesn't always know where it's going, and when you're able to field it on the fly at full speed like Donovan Small was, and Small, Sibley, and O'Shea, I mentioned earlier that O'Shea's quite good at it. All three of them are very good at tiptoeing down the sidelines and making big plays happen in tight spaces down those sidelines. So that could have been a lot worse for the VI Raiders.
Good field position here once again for the Sun. Still looking to capitalize with some points on the offensive side of the ball. Britain's in the shotgun here. We're in the second quarter here, early at the Apple Bowl. Hands the ball, no play action rollout here. Flags on the play again. That's going to be thrown in the vicinity of Zakala. I think that's going to be another hold, and that one will be coming back again.
It's too bad because there was also, I think, defensive holding on number 21, Lennox Murray. I think he was clutching on that play, so unfortunate. I mean, if they get away with it being offsetting, that's a benefit for the VI Raiders, but
I think this might be only the one on the Sun based on where the flags were thrown. I didn't see any other flag down the field unless it's right in front of the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, there is one down.
Right
yeah.
Right around the 15-yard line. So this should be offsetting penalties here. Exactly like we called it. You'd think we know what we were talking about.
It's like we know what we're doing, Tyler. Imagine that.
A couple old has-been coaches up here in the broadcast booth.
So yeah, that's a big break for the Raiders because I think that the Sun had an opportunity to convert a big play there, and it's to get away when you got a defensive holding like that and knowing when the offense does a hold, that's a break for the Raiders for sure.
So we'll replay the down. Still 1st and 10 now for the Sun at their own the Raiders 38-yard line. Britton's in the shotgun. He's got Malcolm Miller behind him, I believe. Oh, that's number 32 off the right side trying to get something. Banfield with a good gain on first down, probably gets about 6 on the play. As Malcolm Miller's not in the game right now, I don't see him. He's on the Sun bench. We're going to look for him there as good gain there by Banfield, as that'll be a pickup of, we'll call it 5.
Yeah, that's a good run by Banfield coming off the bench like that. Obviously cold. He hasn't played in the, when he come in 5 minutes into the second quarter. When you can put your team into a second and mid-range opportunity inside your opponent's 35, that's a good run for Banfield.
So gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 now for Britton in the offense. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. This is play action. Now he's going to dump it out of the backfield. Good play there. Raiders trying to converge and hold him. That's Zakala, the big man, getting good gain there, enough for a first down. He's finally brought down inside the Raider 25-yard line.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's lined up as a wingback. He just kind of leaks out there. Good play there, and the linebacker's in chase mode.
Yeah, and Gilman had a chance on that. Where that missed tackle occurred, it would have been short of the first down. So good job on Zakala knowing that I got to break this first tackle to continue to move those chains. But yeah, Zakala very often lines up in that wingback, and he's a fullback for Malcolm Miller in their big run plays. So for him to leak out like that, you're going to get a mismatch because that's a linebacker's coverage responsibility.
Sun knocking on the door again. Britton in the passing situation now. He's going to look in the end zone in the direction of Michael O'Shea. He's got it. That's a touchdown. Michael O'Shea, that is a great play there as Don Britton just dropped that right in the breadbasket of Michael O'Shea. Sun will lead now 13-0 with the extra point coming.
Yeah, beauty corner route by O'Shea. He tracks the ball so well while he's running. That's not always easy to do. It's usually tough to, the ball looks like it's choppy in the air if you're not a smooth runner. O'Shea is obviously such a smooth runner. He's able to track that, stretch out, and those are two exceptional catches we've already seen by O'Shea.
Sun now with the extra point coming. Liam Atwood will attempt this one here. Snap is good. Hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. That makes your score. The Okanagan Sun 14, the Vancouver Island Raiders no score. Just what the doctor orders. As I think the Sun needed to score something offensively to not take advantage of the field positions they've had so far today.
Exactly. It was only a matter of time, likely, that it was going to happen. But yes, the Sun needed to start putting those points on the board. They had to start converting that. They got to start letting the VI Raiders defense know that, look, we've got our game plan together. We're going to start using our talented football players. And to do it when Miller was on the sidelines, he was with one of the trainers, I think, getting taped. So I don't know if it's just something he just needs something taped or if he is a little banged up already. But we'll see. And obviously the depth at running back is very talented for the Okanagan Sun. But if you don't have a Malcolm Miller in that backfield, it's definitely going to allow the Raiders to change up their game plan and start shutting down that pass game.
Sun will be kicking off here now after their first offensive points of the day, now leading 14-0. That is Isaac Wegner stretching out here. Cold day at the Apple Bowl, but clear and no rain yet. Onside kick here. We'll see if they're ready for it. Jump ball. That's going to be the Okanagan Sun. The flags are all over the field. Sun are going to get on this ball. We'll see what the flags are here, as it definitely went 10 yards.
Yeah, I mean, and it was going up in the air, so I'm not quite sure why.
The ball was definitely went 10 yards. Unless they're going to say they interfered with him and didn't give him an opportunity, but he shouldn't have to, on a kickoff, he
no, it's, yeah, there's no 5 yards, there's nothing. That's a live ball. And
curious to see what this is.
I'd be amazed if it's not picked up, the flag, but.
The Raiders offense is coming on the field. The Sun defense seems to be coming on, but to me, unless there's a new rule a couple old coaches aren't aware of, that looked like a good kick by the Sun as they kicked that one nice and high. The Raiders weren't able to come down with it, and now the Sun recovered. We'll see what the call is here from Sandy Beans. Strange. They call it. I think they called it an illegal.
I think
block.
he said illegal block on Tyler Going. I think he said number 20, but yeah, I didn't pick it up on any of the replays, so I guess we'll trust the referees that they know. But that's unfortunate because that would have been a huge break for the Okanagan Sun, and obviously the VI Raiders will take it. They've got great field position now. There's kind of the balance of field position is on their side, and their offense has not been that bad. So if they can get a good drive on here and at least put 3 on the board, that'd be great.
Best field position of the day for the Raiders as the Bears in the shotgun. Henderson behind him, fakes the handoff, swings it out to Bradbrook. Good flow by the Sun defense there, as there was a host of orange jerseys there converging. Garrett Cape was in on that one, Peyton Ryder, and a couple other Okanagan Sun defenders, limiting that to a gain of, we'll call it maybe 2 on the play, as Bradbrook didn't get much there on that first down play. Yeah,
it didn't get much, and that was after making the first defender miss as well. So it likely would have been probably 2nd and 11 or 12. So to at least get something out of nothing is great, but you know, when you're 2nd and long and you're starting it in great field position, that's a little disappointing for the VI Raiders to start this drive.
3-0, the Langley Rams lead the Valley Huskers after 1 in the other BCFC semifinal game. We'll keep you updated on that as LeBears feels the pressure. Now he's looking for his man, zips it in there. He's got Dylan Pye. Nice throw there. Ball comes out. The Sun knock it out, and they're able to get on this. This will be an Okanagan Sun ball. Great play there by LeBears and Pye, but he wasn't able to get to the ground. Sun batted out of there, and now will take over on offense after the great defensive play. Yeah, good poise by LeBears to let his receivers find those seams. When the defense is in zone coverage, your receivers want to find a hole and sit in. When they're man, you want them to keep running. It was zone coverage. LeBears kept doing his 1st, 2nd, 3rd check. He saw Pye down into that deep kind of
deep middle of the field, like a deep post, in behind the linebackers, but in front of the safety. And unfortunately, Pai was just trying to do too much at the end. He was wrapped up, still trying to get some yard after contact, and the ball just popped out.
Would have been a big play by the Raiders offense. Instead, it's one for the Sun defense. They will scrimmage now, 1st and 10 on their own, the Sun 25-yard line. 10-0 now as we get some updates as the other semifinal happens. Good defensive play there by number 69 by the VI Raiders.
Andrew Atondo.
Atondo with a big play. Big man just threw him down there, and that will be a loss on the play. So 10-0 now. Langley Rams leading the Valley Huskers in the other BCFC semifinal, as we'll get updates from that game. Happening at the same time as we are here, just down on the coast, so we'll get updates for you as much as we can. Good play there by Atondo now, setting up 2nd and 12 or 13, we'll call it.
Yeah, great job for him to sniff that out. Beat his man one-on-one, get into the backfield, and make a big tackle, forcing the Sun now to be 2nd and 14, deep in their own end. Great defensive stance so far for the Raiders on this drive.
Big play here for the Raiders defense as they'd like to get their offense back on the field. 2nd and 14 now. Sun has the situation here. Britton's got some time. Now he's going to be flushed out. Flags on the play again. This will be in the direction of holding, but don't think it'll matter there as the Sun didn't get the first down. So I'm thinking the Raiders will decline this one and bring out their punt.
Yeah, if they decline that, it's looking like it's probably going to be 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. So I would certainly decline that, force the Sun to punt, and a great stand by the Raiders. After a big turnover like that, you get a big completion, getting lots of yardage, you get inside the red zone of your opponent, and then you fumble it. And now to force them to punt and have a 2 and out, great opportunity for the VI Raiders to swing this towards the end of this half.
See, there's a bit of a long delay here, but I think it's unless they decide to pick this up. But I think there'll be a hold, I'm going to say, against the Sun that the Raiders should decline, like we talked about. We'll wait for the call here. Looks like the Raiders are marching back, so maybe it's a legal hands to the face.
I was going to say the only option could be on the defensive line having the hands up.
Unnecessary roughness. Hands to the face.
Hands to the face.
Number 91 on the defense. We got offside. Defense. Net 10 yards penalty.
So it will be a 1st down by the Sun. That's a costly penalty there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Raiders.
Too bad there as they look to getting their defense off the field, but now the drive will continue for the Okanagan Sun as they'll be 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Costly penalty there, hands to the face. That'll bring a 1st down for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, the bench won't be too happy, the coaching staff for the Raiders, knowing that we had an opportunity to force the Sun to punt from deep in their own end, get that field position with, halfway through the 2nd quarter, and now to swing 180 degrees in favor of the Sun. Really disappointing for the Raiders on that.
So 1st and 10 now, Sun offense, 3 receivers to Britton's left, 2 to his right. Blitz coming by the Raiders there. Good job there as they fill that one well. The Raiders' run defense was right on top of that one as they were blitzing on the play. We're able to hold the Sun to a short game. We'll give them about 3 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 7.
And 4, 2nd and 6.
We don't see Malcolm Miller still down on the Sun bench.
No, I think it was Javon Garwood that's in the backfield now, yeah.
Garwood's in there, number 4. We see Miller down at the end of the Sun bench. He looks to be okay, but maybe just right at the 20-yard line there. But we'll watch to see if he comes back in the game.
Yeah, he might have some ice on his wrist. I did see him getting taped on the wrist, so maybe he got banged up on one of his plays, whether it got twisted or just maybe a helmet to the, like a wrist bone or something.
Blitz looks to be coming. The Raiders drop out of it. Britton's now got some time to throw. Now the pressure's coming. He's going to flush out. He's got his man, number 9. That's Sibley into Raider territory. He's finally going to be pushed out of bounds around midfield, maybe the 54-yard line of the VI Raiders. Good job there by Dom Britton as he was improvising there with his feet. Was able to get out of the pocket and find Sibley for a big gain for the Sun.
Yeah, and Dominic Britton's so good at throwing on the run. So when he does break contain or he steps up and then steps out on outside the pocket, when you force him to throw on the run, you've got to have the coverage downfield. He's so patient making his reads, and if there's an opportunity to throw it, he'll like his receivers to get the yardage as opposed to running, but very accurate on the run. And yeah, Sibley was wide open running away from his coverage once he scrambled.
Sun now into Raider territory, scrimmaging 1st and 10 on the VI 54-yard line. Britton again in the shotgun formation. Hands the ball off straight up the middle there. Good cut there. Bad tackling by the Raiders. Gain of about 9, maybe 10. We'll wait to see what the spot is.
That was Garwood again.
That was Garwood again, number 18 for the Sun. As he just went straight ahead here, and the Raiders some sloppy tackling. They won't be happy with that, and that's about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, no, when you've got your running game running north-south like that and you hit that line of scrimmage with a full head of steam and you can't stop him when the first contact is at second level, that's tough for your defensive front seven. You're going to allow second and short all day long if you can't get some hits on him right at the point of attack.
Second and short, Sun still in the shotgun formation. Garwood standing behind Britton as he communicates to his receivers, the three of them to our near side, two to the far side of the field. Maybe take a shot here on second and short as Britton, pressure's coming. They're going to get to him. No, he's able to escape. He's got his man. That is a good play there. Is that Zakala 85? Or is
no,
that
it's 25. Just Armstrong was in there. He's coming up as a defensive halfback as well, but he showed some good hands with some tight coverage on that.
Good job there by Dom Britton getting away from that. I didn't think he was going to be able to get a ball thrown as the Raiders closed in on him, but good poise there to zip it down the field.
Yeah, and again, it's similar to like we saw Calvert last week for the Rams, and you've got LeBurge and Dominic. They're strong quarterbacks on their feet, so if you don't get a clean hit on them the first time, if you're just getting one hand on them, they're going to break that tackle while still looking downfield, and that's exactly what Britton did. Was he felt the pressure, broke that initial possible sack, and found his receiver, and he wasn't even an open receiver.
First down now, Sun scrimmaging inside the Raider territory, hands the ball up. Good job there by the Raiders defense. As you'll see, number 45 for the VI Raiders coming in there, Sean Murray, as he just went right down the line of scrimmage and made a good play there, limiting the Sun gain to maybe one on the play.
Yeah, good job on the entire linebacking core of the Raiders to come downhill. They sniffed out the run. They saw the blocking scheme of the O-line, knew it was run and not play action pass, and they all swarmed in there to get that gain for zero yards.
No gain there, or minimal at best. 2nd and 10 for the Sun. Passing situation here, fast-moving second quarter. At the Apple Bowl, once again, thanks for joining us. Dom Britton's in the shotgun formation. Raiders look to be coming with a blitz. They do. Sun pick it up pretty well. Wide open on the far side of the field. I think that's number 81, Boscheman, as the long throw there by Dom Britton, but he was able to find Boscheman. He'll have enough for a first down. Sun will be knocking on the door again.
And I think Britton had his pick. He had Boscheman on the wide side, and Zakala was also open up the seam. So he had his pick of where he's going. I think they might have been keying on O'Shea. O'Shea really stretched the field deep, and I think the safety in the corner really bit on it. And he had a wide open Boscheman on the sidelines and Zakala coming up that play side seam.
Good job there by the Sun offensive line, picking up that blitz, giving Britton enough time to find an open receiver. And the Sun are knocking at the door again. Deep inside the Raider territory, bunch formation to Britton's left, two receivers to his right, hands the ball off the left side. Raiders trying to flow. They flow really well, knocked them down there. Good job there by the VI Raider defenses. You can see there, Garwood kind of lost his footing, but the Raiders were in good position as well as we hit the 3-minute warning.
Yeah, Garwood was looking for that cutback because Tyler Ruck, one of the linebackers, came up nicely and forced his hand. He came across his face, wasn't going to let Garwood, who also has great speed, get that sideline and try and get big yardage. So good job on Ruck coming up, reading that, forcing him to make a cutback, and that's exactly what he did, and he lost his footing.
So we're at the 3-minute warning here, 14-0. Sun leading here, looking for more here before the half. Raiders hoping to hold this to a field goal opportunity here. There will be 2nd and 10 here for the Sun at around the 20-yard line. So big play here. If they can hold the Sun to a field goal opportunity, that will be, I think, a victory for the VI Raider defense.
Absolutely. The VI Raider defense, considering they're down 14-0, have been doing really well because 7 of those points were on the opening kickoff. So the VI Raider defense has done well, considering they've been on the field quite a bit as well this first half.
Britton barks the signals. Raiders look to be coming with a blitz again. They do. Britton's going to be flushed out, now throws on the run. He's got his man right over the middle. I believe that's number 83, Michael O'Shea. He's going to be popped, but he'll have enough. Should have enough for a first down based on the spot. He's going to be inside the 10-yard line. That should be a first down for Michael O'Shea and the Sun offense.
Yeah, good call by the Okanagan Sun offense coordinator, Coach Miller there. Knowing normally you see Miller stretch those deep balls, but you had Zakala and Sibley and a Boscheman stretching that, and then you had O'Shea come in on that deep end and then sit in that open zone. And to have Britton, as he was scrambling, he did throw that back across his body, which more often than not is a no-no. Exactly, because it doesn't usually turn into a converted first down, but kudos to O'Shea for finding that spot, sitting down, and converting that first down.
So 1st and goal now, it looks like, as the sticks are down. Sun needing to score here. Blitz looking to be coming again on the play. Britton rolls to his right, throws it. Receiver was slipping down. He makes a Heck of a catch down there while he was going to the ground. That was a really nice catch as he lost his footing right around the 5-yard line. He'll set up second and goal, but good catch there by Sibley as he was able to leak out and catch it before he falls to the ground.
Yeah, good opportunity for a good catch and run when you're getting your receivers into those flats and you can lead them to turn that corner. It usually turns into a big game, but the ball was slightly thrown behind him, so he had to put on the brakes a bit, but to still catch it as he was falling down. Good concentration by Sibley, as most of the receivers on the Sun have that great concentration.
Sun knocking at the door again, second and goal now on their Raider 5-yard line. Looking to get their second major of the day on offense and third as a team. Britton's in the shotgun. He looks around, looks to his right, back to his left. Barks the signals. Delay a game penalty as he might have taken too long. Flag at the back of the end zone. I think Don Britton might have taken a little too long, and that's inside the 3-minute warning if that is what the call is. So the Raiders will have the choice of a 10-yard penalty or a loss of down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's tough. You know, you got a lot of time in the Canadian game, but when you're on a field that doesn't have a play clock, it's tough for the quarterback to think, okay, I got to make the play, I got to make my pre-snap reads, I got to worry about what the defense is going to do, and you kind of lose track of that play clock in your mind when you don't have it staring in you. So that's the one downfall of the Apple Bowl, but a benefit here for the Raiders too.
So this will either be a second and 15 or it'll be a third and goal. So they will take the loss of down on the play. It doesn't come with any yards, any penalty yards, but Sun will have a situation here as now Jamie Borum will send out the field goal team as the Raiders elect to take the loss of down instead of the 10-yard penalty, and now the field goal team will come out for the Okanagan Sun.
Great job in the VI Raiders defense. They've been bending it but not breaking the majority of this first half. So kudos to them. And if they can get out here with only giving up 3 points, although they're going to be down 17-0, that's still pretty good considering what they've been able to do on the defensive side of the ball.
Sun will attempt the kick. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. Kick is.
I think he pushed it wide.
Pushed that. See what they're saying, 1 point. So he pushed that wide. That'll be
even better for the Raiders.
Even better for the Raiders. They'll extend their lead to 15-0. The Sun will, but tough field goal angle there on that particular play there as he was off the hash. You can see Atwood, tough to see on a replay there, but Atwood just pushed that wide of the goalpost.
Yeah, I think he just compensated too much, knowing that, okay, it was a tight angle, so I got to get it in those posts, and it does get a little skinny. When it's tough from this angle, but when you're down at that holder and kicking point, it does make those uprights quite skinny when you're at a tight angle. So, and I think he just, overcompensated and pushed it too far left. Yeah, great moral victory for the VI Raiders defense on that.
Big time. Kudos to them so far. We're only giving up 15 points, as you mentioned, 7 right off the top on the kickoff return. So good first half by the Raider defense. If the offense has some time here with 1:22 left here till the half at the Apple Bowl, if they can get down the field and get some points, that'll be a confidence builder headed into the half. Yeah,
and we haven't been mentioning Bonaplume's name much either. So you got an all-star leading receiver in the conference that hasn't been part of the game.
Bears now rolls out to his right, flushes it out, throws the ball. He'll be incomplete on the play, right in front of the Okanagan Sun bench, intended for number 11 on the play. That was Marcel Grant. Bring up second down here for the Raiders, and you could bet they'll be wanting to move the sticks here and not give the ball back to that Okanagan Sun offense.
Yeah, they don't want to have a 2-and-out right now, and LaBerge felt the pressure. Tyrese Rockwell was coming in at that kind of shoestring tackle there, forcing that hand to throw to the sidelines there, and yeah, they just weren't able to convert on that. So now we got a second and long, and let's see if they can't stretch the field a little deeper and get closer to midfield on this play.
Clock won't start until the snap here. The Raiders look at second and 10 on their own 35-yard line. The Bears looks to his right, now comes back to his left, looking for something. Now he won't get anything here. Sun will bring him down after maybe a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. Wonder if the Okanagan Sun might use a timeout here, as the Raiders will be third and about 5 on the play, a long 5, and I assume the punt team will come out here as there is a timeout on the field by the Sun, so they will stop the clock here. Burn a timeout here and try and maintain as much time for their offense as they can. Yeah, good call by the Okanagan Sun to have a timeout here, and it's unfortunate for the Raiders. That was a pretty good scramble by LaBerge. That was a good 5-yard scramble by him, but it was because it was second and 10. That's the caveat where now you're not moving those sticks and converting a first down opportunity when you needed one to keep, as you mentioned earlier, the Okanagan Sun offense off the ball or off the field so they don't get any more points before heading into the locker at halftime. See, the Raiders look to be going for this, which I'm really surprised at here. Last thing you want to do is give the ball back to the Okanagan Sun with a minute left in the half. Very surprised by this call here by Curtis Visa and the Raiders offense. That's gutsy.
It is gutsy, and we haven't seen any hard counts by the VI Raiders, so I don't think they're playing possum and going to try and entice the Okanagan Sun on to do an offside, and then it'd be third and short, if not a first down. So yeah, this is gutsy.
We're trying to get them on the hard count now. This is exactly what we were thinking there. So now
they haven't done it all game, so
they're not going to confuse anybody when they haven't done it. Sun were
they knew what was
coming.
Yeah.
So now the Raiders will use one of their timeouts to bring the punt team on the field. Wonder if that was what was going to happen, but like you said, that wasn't going to fool anybody as they hadn't shown that all game.
No, and knowing that it's 3rd and 5, the coaching staff for the Sun told the defense, I don't care if you're a full second late after that ball to snap. Don't you dare jump no matter what LeBerge and his offense tried to do to you.
So we'll see O'Shea again come back deep for the Sun here. Sun will have lots of time left here. There's still 1:10 left on the clock, so they'll probably get the ball back with a minute or so and probably be scrimmaging, if depending on this kick, probably close to midfield. So lots of time left unless Moran can boot him on here for the Raiders. There's a good snap here. He kick, almost blocked on the play. Short kick there by the Raiders as it will trickle to O'Shea right around, stayed in bounds. O'Shea will get what he can. Sun are going to have lots of time as they're going to be scrimmaging inside the Raider 50-yard line with just under a minute left on the clock.
And again, I know you can see what the VI Raiders are trying to do in their kicking game, keep the hand out of the hands of the deadly returners for the Sun, but they're just not getting the distance on the kicks when they're trying to angle it to the sideline. So, you know, when you're getting a net of what, maybe 7 or 10 yards on that kick, that's not what you want to see from your special teams game, especially against a team now that is finding their groove with their offense.
Good field position by the Sun as they'll scrimmage 1st and 10 inside the VI Raider 50-yard line. Looking for more points before the half. Britton's in the shotgun. Early movement on the play, probably a free play by the Sun as he'll zip it in the direction incomplete, looking for Boscheman. That should be an offside against the Raiders, as I think that was a free play for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Britton saw that it was going to be a free play and maybe should have stretched the field and gone downtown and knowing that there would be no consequence to it, but regardless, it's now going to be, you know, first and mid-range as opposed to 2nd and long.
Early movement on the right side of that Raider defense, as I believe what we saw up here. It is an offside against the Raiders, so 1st and 5 now as they mark off the penalty.
All right, let's go, Belgians!
Sun will be wanting, I think, to score. I think if they don't get any more points in here, Sun offense and head coach Jamie Warren may not be happy at the half. Britton's in the shotgun, looks, pressure's coming in him. Now he does get away. No, he was able to be dropped down from behind. I believe that's by
41 Tyler Ruck, I think. He's done a good job on those outside containments of either putting pressure on Dominic or forcing the running backs like Garwood and whatnot to have to cut in. So good job on Ruck keeping that, because I think there was a lot of daylight out there for Dominic Britton. I think he would have easily converted the first down if Ruck didn't make that open field shoestring tackle.
Yeah, I thought for sure Britton was going to be able to escape that pocket there and get more than enough for a first down, but good tackle there by Ruck, limiting the game to 5 here. Clock is moving here as Britton's in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to the far side of the field. Raiders look to be coming with a blitz. They do. Here they come as Britton's trying to find somebody. Now he's in big trouble there. Throws the ball wisely, incomplete on the play. As the Raiders had that one covered, that'll bring up a 3rd down. Late flag on the play. I was not sure if somebody said something on that particular play, but very, very late flag as the head referee is speaking now to the Okanagan Sun. So not sure if that's going to be a really costly penalty against the VI Raiders or not.
Yeah, the Sun were trying to set up a screen to Banfield there, their running back, and Sean Murray sniffed it out, the linebacker number 45 for the VI Raiders. He saw these D linemen got past that O lineman too easy. That's when you know the red light or the bell should go on in your head that it's going to be a screen, and Sean Murray did a great job of sniffing that out.
So intentional grounding call, strange call. You don't see that very often. As I thought there was receivers out in the vicinity there, as that ball didn't
especially
really
with pressure. Yeah.
And he was outside the pocket, so a bit of a strange call on that one. There looked to be receivers in the vicinity. It's not like the ball was far, far out of bounds by Don Britton. It's a bit of a surprising call, but that will be, he lost it down, so it can still be 3rd down, and they will call
Unless the ball just didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. If you threw it out of bounds way too short, then maybe that's what happened. But yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think that would have been an intentional ground.
Raiders hold though, so that's good for them. Wagner will look to boom one here for the Sun. Floating snap. Wagner does kick it high, booming kick. That one's to the moon and back as it's finally caught by Will Adams. Fumbles the ball, smartly gets on it around his own 4-yard line here. With 12 seconds left, that thing looked like it was never going to come down.
That's a punt.
That's a punt.
When you got that 3.5, 4 point something second hang time, your coverage team will thank you all day long. And to pin the VI Raiders deep in their own end like that, it's pretty much let's do cover 4, play it smart, let's get into the halftime and make some adjustments.
Another flag on the far side of the field in a strange spot, so we'll see what this is as well. I didn't see anything that would cause, it's in the vicinity of where they're talking to the Raiders, so it's probably going to be against the Sun, maybe an offside on the play based on where the flag is thrown.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything blatant upon the snap of the ball, so they are calling procedure. Wow.
Or no end perhaps by the
maybe, yep.
So it might be no end on the play.
That's unfortunate because that's going to negate a monster kick.
Yeah, so they'll get them to re-punt it here. I'm assuming the Raiders will have to re-punt this one. They would have been scrimmaging around their own 5-yard line.
That block, yeah.
Ready? I'm gonna deal with that. You go in.
So it'll be 15 yards back again. So Sun are moving backwards here after the intentional grounding. Now add another 15 for the block below the waist. Sun looked to be a little surprised by that call as Jamie Borum looks for an explanation, but so he was outside the imaginary tight end spot. That's what they were calling as in the Canadian game. That's a rule where they have an imaginary where a tight end would be. They have it on the punt team there, but that's the call there. That's why they called it. It was outside of that tight end area.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to cut below the waist on that when you're the blocking coverage team.
Raiders probably would have taken a knee and got out of the half, but now the Sun will be forced to kick here, and the Raiders might have one more play depending on what happens with this kick here by Wagner. As he booms one short kick off the side of his foot there. That'll go out of bounds around the 38-yard line here with 5 seconds left. See what the Raiders do here, but obviously about a 35-yard difference in field position, but I don't think it's going to matter here with only a couple ticks left on the clock.
Yeah, great sequence for the VI Raiders on something like that, but as you said, yeah, they just don't have enough enough time on the clock to do anything. Yeah, they have another timeout, but 4 seconds isn't enough to try and get 2 big plays, so whether they just take a knee and consider it a half and get in there and make some adjustments, or maybe they just stretch the field, try and force maybe an error by the Sun coverage or a tip ball or something. But yeah, I would imagine they just want to get into halftime, make their adjustments, come back out, and it was a pretty good first half all in all for the Raiders.
So the Raiders look like they're going to take a shot here. No, they just flip it out there. Ball is short here. Really surprised by that call there with a couple ticks left on the clock. To me, you either take a shot or you take a knee and get out of dodge, but that will be the final play of the first half. So the Okanagan Sun 15, the Vancouver Island Raiders no score. If you're the Raiders, you're probably feeling pretty good as once the opening kickoff went back to the house on them, they kind of settled in. I like what they did offensively in the first quarter and to start the second quarter, and I think they'll want to get back to that as they come out of the break. But if you're the Raiders, I think you're not too upset being down by 2 scores.
No, not at all, knowing that really the defense has only given up 8 of those 15 points. And Malcolm Miller has been on the sidelines for most of the second quarter. So we'll see if being off the field for most of the second quarter and this 15-minute break for halftime allows Miller to come back in the field. But the VI Raiders coaching staff on the defensive side are going to say, look, you guys are doing a great job of bending, not breaking. The best running back in the conference might not be back in the game. So let's shut down that run game and take care of business downfield. Because obviously the Okanagan Sun can still stretch you vertically and deep. They've got way too many weapons in the passing game, but if you know in the back of your mind that there's not a Malcolm Miller that can bite you in the backside, that's a huge opportunity for the VI Raiders. On the flip side, Okanagan Sun defense doing a great job as well. They're holding their own. They're not allowing the Raiders to get any opportunities, but the Sun offense are the ones that I think are missing out on some opportunities. We saw that happen last weekend, and I think they need to make that correction quick today and start building on that as, you know, if they win today, continuing into the playoffs, you need a consistent offense if you're going to go deep into the playoffs.
Once again, we'll be back at after the half. Once again, the score at the half, 15-0. The Okanagan Sun lead the Vancouver Island Raiders. Thanks for joining us on BCFCTV.com. I'm Tyler McLaren, joined by Jason Casey, and we'll be back for the third quarter.
A successful return for the Okanagan Sun right here. Takes the handoff. He plays towards the end zone and he's caught.
You can't say. Good luck. Yeah, I think so. You guys want to go to the bar or something like that? Okay, suck move. Let's suck move.
Okay, let's do it. Seems like we're getting pretty good pressure on the right, but
just moving, trying to move around for the refs
oh wait, hold up. Yeah. Ay, caramba.
I'll try to do less. It's almost like the golden hour came in and you were asking me to go 11, and then it starts to, now it starts to
Good job, 65. Good job, Cindy. When I think you guys are relieved here, those are ones for the stadium. Go 71, good job. Good job, 65. Turn around, come back. You guys are finished? Winners! Winners right here! Papa John's pizza for these ones. Do it for pride, guys. Do it for second place, third place. You all can get pizza. You haven't gone? Give it a run. Team Barker over here. Wow, they are quick. They're fast. That was far enough. That was a good job. Good job, all you kids. You're all going to get a slice of Papa John's hot pizza. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks, fans.
That was funny, eh? You were funny, eh? Both of you were really funny. Zach, you did really well, buddy.
Hey, Daddy, my feet are really cold. I don't care about the prize. I just want to satisfy the win.
Football skills are also nice skills. A successful return for the Okanagan Sun. Right here. Takes the handoff. And he throws towards the end zone and he's caught.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl. We're just about ready to get the third quarter started. Back here with Jason Casey on Tyler McLaren. 15-0, the Okanagan Sun lead at the half. Jason, I think we got some stats here from our statistician here. What jumps out at you on the first half?
I think the lopsidedness of both the rush and the pass game. Well, it's not really lopsided between the rush, so 25 yards rushing for the Sun, 34 yards for the Raiders, both way lower than I thought they'd be, but I also didn't think the Raiders would be out rushing the Sun. Now, we did mention that Miller hasn't been on the field, so we'll see if he comes back in the third quarter. And then the passing game. I expected, obviously, LeBarge, who's an all-star, Bonneplum, who's an all-star. You expect that it would have been a lot closer in the passing game, but we see Dominic Britton's 11-14 for 190 yards, whereas LeBarge is only 4 for 12, which is an anemic completion rate for only 47 yards. So that kind of stands out for me big time in the first half.
Yeah, 190 yards for Don Britton. The 2 interceptions obviously stand out as well. So he's almost completed more passes to the VI Raiders than he's thrown incomplete in this day. So he's been very accurate, but obviously the Raiders defense held. 9 first downs for the Sun, 4 for the Raiders. So I agree with you. I think I expected way more rushing yards by both teams. Obviously, like we talked about, the absence of Malcolm Miller, and we'll try and get an update or find out where he is in the second half here. But I think the Raiders, if they're going to come out here in the second half, which they'll get the opening kickoff, I think there's lots of time. You're only down by 2 scores. I think you try and establish a running game. And then I think in this second half, you have to say to Jake, okay, let's go to where our bread is buttered for a guy like Alex Bonneplum. Dylan Pye made a good catch in the first half. Marcel
Bradbrook's been pretty good hands.
Bradbrook's pretty good too. So they've got some weapons, and you just feel like they're one big play away from making this get a little tighter here at the Apple Bowl.
Yeah, and I don't think they need to stretch the field either to go in those with the low percentage completions. I think if they just set up and a shotgun formation and do 5, 7, 9 yard quick hitters, and then try and get your receivers to make that first defender miss and turn it into that big play. So yeah, I agree with you. See that expectations of the Raiders offense, just stay on the field for the majority of the second half and try and tip the balance with the points. But yeah, we'll see what the Okanagan Sun can do with their run game as well. And if it's not Malcolm Miller coming back, that's going to allow the Raiders to probably have an easier time shutting down the run and keying on the passing attack.
Mike O'Shea was a leader in that department with his 3 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. So I don't see a number 3 down there for the Sun. So unless Malcolm's just slow coming out of the locker room, I don't see a number 3. So his night might be done. We'll see it. We'll keep our eye on that for you at home as the Sun look to be kicking off here, as Isaac Wegner will be kicking going from left to right. Raiders will scrimmage on offense going from our right to our left. And we're underway as Wegner boots the ball up down to the Raiders at their 15-yard line. Comes to the left. That's Will Adams. Now he's going to try and cut reverse field, head to the right. He's going to run out of space here as the Sun kind of push him right out of bounds around the 24-yard line. Will Adams was going west-east instead of north-south, and I liked how he started the run where he just kind of went upfield to make one cut and then go. Nothing drives coaches nuts when you run sideways instead of up the field.
No, and he didn't have any blocking out there. You can kind of imagine what he was trying to do is make a big return for his offense to set them up for a good field position, but once he made that cut to start trying to go wide right, there were no white jerseys out there, and yeah, you're just kind of sitting duck out there.
So Raiders will get the ball. They will scrimmage 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line as night falls here in Kelowna at the Apple Bowl. The lights are on, and we're back here for the second half. LeBarge is still in at the shotgun. He hands the ball off. No, he's going to play fake it. Now zips the ball down the seam in the direction for Dylan Pye as that one was a little bit behind and overthrown. Garrett Cape was in the area for the Sun as as I like the play fake there. Dylan Pye right down the seam. That would have been a very tough throw for Jake LeBears to complete after that second half as the kickoff happened.
Yeah, he had the receiver open. It would have been good. I mean, I think Garrett Cape would have liked to have that play back because I think he was anticipating the receiver to get some hands on it, and he was coming up for the hit as opposed to going for the pick. I think he would have had an easier chance at getting the INT than the tackle.
Second down here, Raiders. Play fake now. LeBears comes to his left. He's going to take a shot in the direction of Marcel Grant. A lot of, yeah, there's a call there. Flag was down. A lot of contact down right around the 50-yard line. So I think that'll be defensive pass interference against the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, good job on Grant to track that ball in the air. LeBears put some good air under it, allows Grant to run it under. But, yeah, I think Strager, Cole Strager was just too much in his grill to stop him from making the adjustment. And if his back or if his head was turned towards the ball, he's entitled to run with the receiver like that. But his back was to the ball too long and it impeded Grant making the adjustment to the ball, and the refs are going to call that every time.
So big play there for the Raiders as they move the ball out now. 15-yard penalty on the play, so they'll be around the 38-yard line there. Excuse me. Welcome back again to the Apple Bowl. Jason Casey, Tyler McLaren here with the call. Sun leading 15-0. Raiders will be scrimmaging first to 10 on their own 38-yard line, looking for their first points of the day. Been close a couple times here, but we'll see what LeBears and the offense can do here. First drive of the second half. As there looks to be early movement, that's probably going to be a procedure against the Raiders, as there were some jumpy feet there before that play got underway.
Yeah, and I would like to see the Raiders start getting some tempo in their offense as well, right? Don't let the defense for the Okanagan Sun get into a groove, start making adjustments, and start keying on what you're going to be doing for your game plan. I think the Raiders got to start pushing the tempo to this second half and forcing the Sun to think on their feet and snap the ball quick, get those quick hitting passing yards, and then set Henderson up for either a run or even start setting up some screens with Henderson as well.
A lot different game than the first one up here at the Apple Bowl earlier in the year when offense was flying left, right, and center, 70-25. The Okanagan Sun were able to prevail in this one. Much different game here tonight.
Playoff football. The defense is starting to be stalwarts, right?
A little cooler outside, and now a short drop. No, it's a draw to play to Henderson. He's got room in front. Good gain there. He's going to be about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down, but he gets about 10 or 11 on the play. Like the call there on first to 15. Draw play there by the Raiders.
That's a great call by the VI Raiders. Absolutely. They had the Sun dropping back into coverage, thinking it was going to be a pass with a first and long like that, and a great draw play, and Henderson just running north-south, full head of steam, and picking up the majority of that long first and long.
Short 3 here as it'll be 2nd and 3. For the Raiders, shotgun again. Sun looked to be blitzing on the play. They do play fake now. Ball was knocked down on the play. Kellen Thomas was in the vicinity with those big mitts, but the Sun were able to knock that one down, and I'm surprised by that call there.
He caught it.
He caught it.
Bonnaplume got his mitts on it.
Sorry,
yeah,
we'll
good concentration. Yeah,
we'll
definitely got his mitts up.
Right there, Thomas tipped that.
I think it just went off his helmet. That's a beauty
catch. That was incomplete. That's a heck of a catch by Bonnaplume.
That's why he was the leading receiver of the conference.
Exactly. So big play there. I thought that hit the turf. So
great conversion by the Raiders there, because the way Thomas got in that passing lane, 9 times out of 10, that's punting team coming out in the field.
So big first down by the Raiders as LeBears in the shotgun, looks to his left. Now he's feeling the pressure, going to try and get away. The big mitts of Thomas have got him, throw him down.
Oh, you can't throw that flag. That is...
I think because we heard a whistle, but when a guy's fully
Well, both
invested,
of them are running backwards. He didn't throw him to the ground. I wouldn't want to see, regardless of what team was on offense and defense there,
that's a little ticky-tack
That's
there.
A bogus call.
It's a little ticky-tack here as I think they're going to call the Sun for unnecessary roughness. As I think it's we heard a whistle, but you can't fault the players as he's got to make sure he secures the tackle or he's going to hear about it.
No, he's a big man. He's got his mitts on LeBears, and LeBears is hauling, his tail back fast.
Unnecessary roughness, number 12. We got unnecessary roughness.
So offsetting unnecessary roughness is unnecessary roughness. So there was not. We knew
so LeBears had his face mask and Thomas. Okay, well then that's not too. I don't mind that then. Both of them were fighting for position, and LeBears is, he's giving up some size when he's going up against a man like Thomas. So
might as well grab the face mask. We'll see if we can see it. You can kind of see Jake's left arm kind of extended there.
Yeah.
So.
Fighting for his life there. So I'm glad it was offsetting because I think that's just 2 guys fighting in a playoff game. Yeah.
So replay the down, 1st and 10 now. Henderson off the left side, now comes back to the middle. Good run there. He's got another first down as he went straight ahead into that Okanagan Sun defense. Good run there as he picks up about 14 on the first down for the VI Raiders.
Yeah, I'm liking how the offensive line is coming out here in this third quarter. They're really controlling that line of scrimmage, the VI Raiders O-line, and when you can get your running back easily getting into that second level and getting those big yards, and by that I mean getting to the linebackers and beyond. If you're not getting hit by a D lineman at the point of attack, you can start getting that 6, 7, 8 plus yards a carry, and that's exactly what Henderson showed so far in this third quarter.
Raiders into Okanagan Sun territory. LeBears zips it out for Bradbrook, waiting for blockers to come. Big hit there by the Okanagan Sun defense, as that was number 34 for the Okanagan Sun. Strager with a big stick as Bradbrook was trying to wait for his blockers to get out in front of him, but positive yards. At least the good news is, as LeBears flipped that one out, Bradbrook was able to stay on his feet that time and get some positive yards to the Raiders.
Yeah, upon completion of that wide receiver screen, he did have a seam that he could hit, but there was 5 yards away, and by the time he turned up, the speed of the closing swarm of the Okanagan Sun defense was just too quick, and they shut it down really fast.
2nd down now. LeBears drops back, sets his feet, trying to get away. It looked to be no holding call. I thought there might be one on that play. LeBears throws back across the body. He's got Dylan Pye finally brought down at the 35-yard line. He should have enough for
another
a first
down, I think, yeah.
Good job there, and that's where the veteran play of Jake LeBears was able to buy himself a little bit more time with his feet. Find Pye across his body there. As you can see, again, a coach's nightmare when a quarterback throws back across his body like that, but kudos to LeBears and Pye. They were able to connect for a first down.
Yeah, and it was good coverage by the Okanagan Sun defense as well, dropping back into that zone coverage. They put pressure initially on LeBears, forced him to roll it to his right, and yeah, he showed his patience while he's scrambling. Both him and Britton do this really well. When they scramble, they continue to look downfield, and they're finding these short open receivers and keep moving those chains.
1st and 10 now. Raiders at the Sun 35-yard line. Play fake again. LeBears looks down the field. Ooh, their early contact. I thought we might see. Raiders are looking for a flag on that play.
I thought that was another beauty catch again.
I thought he might have been on his back.
I think he was early as well in the coverage as well, but I thought for sure that it looks like Marcel Grant. I thought he converted this, unless he bobbled it, but because he was going down to the ground on his backside, so I thought he was protecting the ball from the ground.
Jake threw that where only his guy was going to get it, but you can see very tight coverage there by the Okanagan Sun.
Unless that deep ref was saying that the ball was loose as it was being jumbled a little bit, it did look like a completion, but any kind of movement on the ball, the ref will say that he didn't have control on the ground.
2nd and 10 now. LeBears, lots of time here. Good job there. Floats one down the seam. That's trouble. 2 or 3 Okanagan Sun. Jonah Williams is right in the vicinity there. Dangerous throws. LeBears couldn't really step into that throw. When you're lobbing it down Broadway, that's usually trouble, and the punt team will come out for the Raiders.
Yeah, throwing off your back foot is tough to get any kind of zip on it, and he was throwing it up, obviously, to his number 1 guy in Bonapum, but yeah, that's scary when there's coverage. You're throwing it, you're extending your receiver high. You're either going to, an opportunity for an interception or for a kill shot for a free safety. When you're opening the ribs up on your receivers like that, that could end quite ugly. So lucky for the Raiders to come out just with a punt here.
Donovan Small stands around his own goal lines. They're going to fake this one. He's got his man. That's a great tackle, though, by number 2, Garrett Cape. That is a very, very alert play as they were right on that one, and they were able to sniff that one out. Raiders caught the pass, but as you can see in the replay here, not enough for the first down. Big play by the Sun special teams. They'll take over on offense.
Yeah, I mean, not a horrible call to make on a punt fake like that, but it's 3rd and 10. It wasn't like 3rd and 4 or 5 where they had a better chance of converting it. And the Okanagan Sun are so well coached, not only on defense but on special teams as well. And a lot of the guys on their punt return are defensive players, so easily Cape was able to sniff that out.
So Sun will take over, first down. Hand the ball off to number 32. I think that's Banfield. Makes a man miss. Now he's got about 14 or 15 as he was dragging the Raider defender. More than enough for a first down as he'll be out around the Okanagan Sun 45-yard line. Big run there by Banfield, and they'll move the chains on the first offensive play for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, so it's obviously looking like we're not going to be seeing Miller come back to the second half, but when you got someone like Banfield and Garwood who are just as quick and they can churn out big yards like that, that's not what the Raiders want to see. When you got an opportunity to knock out the number 1 running back in the conference and you still give up 15, 20-yard runs, the Raiders need to start making some changes.
So Sun 1st and 10 on their own 45. He's going to take a shot down the field. He's got his man. big stick there by number 42. That's Moran. Really nice catch on the far side of the field. Looks to be Mike O'Shea on the play as he was stuck there by Moran, but able to hold on to this and move the chains again as the Sun are now in VI Raider territory.
Yeah, and that's just good concentration by O'Shea, knowing he was going to take a lick by a deep linebacker like that. But good job on the Okanagan Sun offensive front. So Dominic Britton realized it, and O'Shea did too, stretching the field. The Raiders brought pressure to that side, so they were down a coverage man on that side. So they knew that if they could get a quick hit in front of that deep coverage, it'd be a big gain by O'Shea.
Blitz looks to be coming here by the Raiders. Sun Banfield off the left side now. Raiders trying to string that one out, do a decent job there. Banfield still able to get about 5 or so on the play, tackled by a host of VI Raiders, but positive yards in what I thought was going to be a minimal gain by Banfield. He was able to turn nothing into something. A good gain on first down.
Yeah, and all three of the running backs for the Okanagan Sun that we likely see through majority of the season with Miller, Banfield, and Garwood, they're great at following Zakala. Zakala is a great lead block as a slot back when he comes in motion and then knifes up between usually the guard and tackle or center and guard. He's a great guy to follow. He's a big, lanky body, and he's a good blocker for a receiver. And when you got the speed of a Garwood or a Banfield or a Miller behind a blocker like that, oftentimes you're going to get 6-7 easy yards on that. I won't say easy, but you get 6 or 7 yards on that, knowing that you've got a great blocking receiver in front of you.
See, there looked like to be a call on the play here, a flag of some kind.
Blocking from the rear. Yeah. Number 83 on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Okanagan Sun for blocking below the waist again. Those are costly penalties, especially after, and that is a loss of down on the play. So that's about the second or third time we've seen a call like that, and that'll bring the Sun back.
And that's been an issue for the Sun all season. They've been giving up a lot of penalty yards. They had 78 penalty yards in the first half, and now they're giving up big penalty yards as well here in the third quarter.
So second and long here, low snap. Britton's in big trouble. He's able to get away. No, the whistle was blown. But see, I thought I heard a whistle right off the opening before that play even developed, but it looks to be they're going to have that play as a live play. As Britton got a load. The snap was actually pretty good. He just mishandled it.
Yep, he was just looking downfield.
Doyle Westland was in his face real quick there.
Yeah, they called him in the grass right away. And it's starting to rain out there on the field too, so we're going to start seeing that be an issue for the ball handling. It's cold, so your hands are going to be cold. The ball's going to feel like a rock as it is. And now you throw in the rain coming down. It's now going to start turning into who can control possession of the ball when they're on offense and not have any costly turnovers.
So Wegner will be in to punt. It looks like Will Adams stands around his own 10-yard line for the Raiders. Low snap. Wegner, just gets it away.
Some good pressure.
As he almost blocked that. Caught on the play. Good downfield coverage there by number, looks like 26 or 36.
I think it was 36. Booz, Kevin Booz.
And a good high kick by Wegner. And you can't put that into context unless you're sitting here live and watching games. How valuable it is when you've got a kicker who can punt the ball and pin somebody deep, let your return guys get there, or let your cover guys get down and make a play. It's such an advantage, and you can see the Sun have a distinct advantage over that than the Raiders.
Yeah, you get that hang time, and a returner like Will Adams is back there waiting for that ball to drop into his hands, knowing that because it's in the air so long, he's got to make that first guy miss right away. And that puts a lot of pressure on the return team because he's thinking ahead and not concentrating on the ball, thinking, I'm going to get smacked.
So Raiders have the ball back, second drive of the second half. Henderson off the left side there, as he probably gets about 3 or 4 on the play. There's no score here in the third quarter. Sun still leading 15-0. As Henderson went off the left side for a couple, but rain comes down. You got to think that's going to make it hard for the passing game to make some connections here, as the clock might become an enemy as we're under halfway to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to want to continue to establishing Henderson on those long runs. So for the Okanagan Sun front seven to force a 2nd and 8 here is a big opportunity for the Sun to try and get the Raiders to have a 2 and out.
Big play here for the Raiders. They'll be 2nd and 8 around their own 21-yard line. LeBear's in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left, looking to his left. Now he's got some pressure. He's in big trouble. He's going nowhere.
That's a coverage sack there.
Well, see, I don't think there was any need for a flag there, as LeBear's might have tried to sell that one.
I think he was embellishing it a little bit.
I think there was a little embellishment there, hoping to maybe get a flag, which I don't fault the veteran for doing that, knowing his punt team was going to come on the field. Might as well see if you can get one there, but it will be third down. The Raider punt team will come on the field.
Yeah, good coverage sack there. The Okanagan Sun had some good coverage downfield. They had a double team over the short middle as well. LeBerge was making his reads, didn't have anybody to go to. By the time he was deciding to scramble and run and break the pocket, there was pressure on him.
Low line drive kick in the direction of Michael O'Shea. He picks it up around the Raider 49-yard line, cuts, and then is brought down around the 42. So really
technically, I think that was a trip, but
looked like a bit of a trip there as he had his legs taken out from under him. But Michael O'Shea is no worse for wear, and he settled scrimmage again. Really good field position. He's out scrimmage first and 10 at the Raider 42-yard line.
Yeah, the Raiders defense so far, the 2.5 quarters of this game, they've done a great job of bending and not breaking, and we'll see if they can maintain that, because now the Sun are starting to regain that field position advantage that they had the majority of the first half.
Sun might be looking for the knockout blow here as we're just under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Britton's in the shotgun. High snap, he's able to pull it down, gives the ball, I think that's Garwood.
Banfield.
Is that Banfield again,
Yep.
32. Good gain there as he looked to be past the first level of VI Raiders defenders, but Raiders were able to keep that gain to about 4 or 5 on the play, so good positive yards for Banfield. 2nd and 5, manageable down for the Sun.
Yeah, and Banfield hits that line of scrimmage at full speed. He's a really, really good north-south runner. He's got good strength, good balance, and good speed. So for the Raiders to force a second and mid-range is a good opportunity for them on that first down.
Zakala comes in motion there. Britton high snap again. Britton's got it again. He slips and falls. Turf might become an issue here in the second half as this is going to be a slick surface here. Sun will have a decision now as Banfield looks to have lost maybe 3 or 4. I think Jamie Borum was sending out his punt team. If I was to guess here, I think it's out of Liam Atwood field goal range.
Yeah, we're starting to see, so from the Okanagan Sun, we're seeing high snaps. The ball is getting cold. The ball is getting wet from the rain. The turf is getting damp as well. So you got to get that exchange between the center and the quarterback to start the play. That was a good play call to have Garwood running up the gut again behind Zakala. But the high snap messes up the timing of the handoff, and now we get another 2 and out by the opposite with the Okanagan Sun offense.
So Wagner will stand around the 54-yard line. Raiders should be pinned deep in their own territory as Adams stands his old goal line. Good snap. Another big kick there as that is going to be a rouge as that one's going out the back. Wow. And you can see again, not to harp on it, but you see
could have used that last week.
Used that last week. But the Sun have a distinct advantage in that department. And that kicking game, especially when you get to playoff football and the defense is tightening up, that type of thing, when you can get a guy who can boom you either out of trouble or put them in trouble, it's such an advantage for you on special teams.
Absolutely. Like as you said, when defenses start stepping up, so when either offense is starting to falter, but you are gaining the field position because of your kicking game, that protects you from allowing a team to either pull away or to get back in the game against you. The Sun have the lead right now, but when you can keep pinning them, get a rouge or get them pinned inside their own red zone, that's exactly what you want to see from your kicking game when your offense is doing 2 and outs.
Raiders still within 2 scores here. Mind you, the hard way now is LeBears will have to get his offense going. Good throw there as that's right by the sticks on the far side of the field. I think that's to Alex Bonaplume as he was able to connect on the far side. Looks like they're moving the sticks.
I think he had enough.
Unless the spot is short.
I thought he did, but yeah.
They needed the 45 after the rouge, so they should have enough as the referee puts the ball right down on the 45-yard line. So that will be a first down for the Vancouver Island Raiders as they look to now get in the hurry-up offense. LeBears fakes it. Now he's going to take a shot down looking for Bonaplume again. Really good coverage on the far side of the field. Sun looking for an offensive pass interference. There was a little bit of a push there by Bonaplume on the Sun defender, but no flags on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down.
No, Bonaplume was just following the ball, right? So if you're a defender and you're on top, he's going to continue running through you, but that's a tough play for LeBears to convert. The Sun were in cover 3, and their deep coverage was very disciplined, and Bonaplume was just running into that deep coverage. So unless you can throw your receiver open, that's a low percentage opportunity for the VI Raiders offense.
Jonah Williams with the coverage for the Sun on that play. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Another passing situation for the Raiders. As the Bears moves his men in motion, Sun look to be coming on a blitz. They will. The Raiders going to have some trickery here as Bradbrook's trying to find somebody. He was trying to throw this ball. Now he's going to take off, get what he can. He's going to get about 7 on the play on a bit of a broken play, as I think that was meant to be a passing play for Bradbrook, and we'll watch it here. You can tell he's definitely trying to throw.
He was looking to throw.
Had Tyler going in his face right away, and then the rest of the Sun defenders were coming. He never had time to set his feet, so now gets 8 yards out of what looked to be a broken play, and now the Raiders maybe can look to go for this with Henderson on 3rd down.
Absolutely, a broken play that likely should have been a tackle for a loss of at least 3 or 4, turned into a 7-8 yard gain, and now they got 3rd down and like 1.5 yards.
Manageable here for the Raiders. We'll see if they hand the ball off. As they will play fake it now. Look out, Jake LeBears throws the ball. He's got it. Oh, he tried to throw in the direction of Taylor Becker. Incomplete there as LeBears had major heat coming from his backside. He's slow to get off the turf here at the Apple Bowl.
Yeah, not a bad play call. I do like it. I don't know if LeBears felt the pressure coming from behind and rushed the ball, or it was just a bad throw because of the temperature and the dampness out there now, but he was definitely feeling that pressure from the backside, and good job in the Okanagan Sun defense. Both teams now are bending, not breaking, but the Sun are still gaining the advantage on the field position battle.
So 16-0 here as the Sun have gotten the lone rouge, the lone point of this 3rd quarter as it winds down here. Sun have good field position again in VI Raider territory. Hands the ball off now to, that looks like Banfield again, number 32. As he gets about 3 yards, maybe 2 on the play after the spot. Well, it looks to be almost maybe no
even
gain.
1, yeah. Not,
Originally, I thought he was going to get a couple yards, but now that I see the spot on our near side here, minimal gain, if any, for the Sun. That'll bring up 2nd and long as the Raiders just stretch that out to the sideline.
Yeah, the front 7 do a good job in stretching out. They brought Zakala again as a fullback block out of the slot position, and Garwood was just trying to, Banfield was just trying to read that block, but when the Raiders forced them just to run down the line of scrimmage and not give them a cutback lane, that's a win.
Play fake now. Britton's going to take a shot. 2 Raiders back there. Good coverage there as they were looking in the direction of, I think that's Michael O'Shea, as he went down the seam here. It'll be 3rd down for the Sun as the Raiders had good coverage there. There were 2 defenders there, so no harm, no foul for the Raiders on the last play of the 3rd quarter as they'll be able to bring their punt return team back on the field.
Yeah, when you've got your free safety, and so it looked like they were initially going zone, but I think they switched to man. So you got your cover 1, so you've got man coverage on O'Shea downfield, but you've got that safety help. So when O'Shea's the only threat, there's no pressure on that safety to have to make some kind of extra read against the quarterback. So kudos to the VI Raiders coverage team, knowing that it's, the biggest threat with O'Shea, but knowing that they've got that coverage protection with that free safety.
39-0, the Langley Rams now lead the Valley Huskers in the other BCFC semifinal. That one's being played down in Langley with 12 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. So Rams in full control over that one in the 1-4 semifinal game.
And we're already in the 4th quarter in this one. This game is flying by.
It's moving by here quick at the Apple Bowl. Once again, Jason Casey joined with, I'm here with Jason Casey. I'm Tyler McLaren. Sun will be punting here. It looks like Will Adams is going to be deep for the Raiders. Standing once again, it seems a familiar spot as he seems to be standing on his goal line receiving most of these punts.
Yeah, if he knows Wagner's booting it like that, then why not? It's easier to come up and field that ball than have it go over your shoulder. And if you can protect that goal line and still get a return, then yeah.
Looks like the rain has stopped here at the Apple Bowl as the umbrellas have been put down here. So that's good news after a bit of a shower here. But ball's still damp. It's wet in the air. It's cold. Playoff football here in the fall in Kelowna. And now we got a brief stoppage in play here as the officials converge. But 39-0, Langley in full control in that one down the coast.
No disrespect to the Huskers, we were expecting that, right? I mean, the Huskers have had some pretty good games this season, but the Rams, when they're on point, they are a high-powered team as well. They've got ball hawks on defense, a lot of all-stars on their roster as well, and they've got a quality offense as well.
So Sun looking to, they're just resetting the clock here as the winners of this game here and the winner of the game in Langley between the Huskers and the Rams. Right now it looks like the Langley Rams. They will square off. If Langley does win, that will be where the game is played. Regardless if it's the VI Raiders or the Okanagan Sun, the game will be in Langley if that score holds. The Sun look to kick. Good snap again. Wagner puts his right foot on it. Another rocket of a kick. That'll drive the Raider back to his own 5-yard line. Gets the 10. Good downfield tackle there. We'll see on our replay if we can see. Looks like Banfield again, 32 is down there, and a couple other Okanagan Sun cover guys. That was really good downfield coverage by the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, they broke down. It was good coverage. They knew they had the hang time to allow them to get downfield and run their responsibilities and stay in their coverage lanes. And yeah, just a good open field tackle by Banfield.
You can see there he broke down nicely, made a nice tackle, and that's tough to do. As some of these returners are quick, they have quick feet, and if you're not under control, you're going to fly by and not make a tackle.
And he's an offensive player, not a defensive player, so it's not something he does all game, right? So yeah, no, that was a beautiful offensive open field tackle.
Once again, the Raiders scrimmaging deep in their own territory. That's the bad news for them. The good news for them is they're still within 2 scores here as we're just getting underway here in the 4th quarter at the Apple Bowl. 1st and 10 Raiders. LeBears, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. High snap does pull it down, hands the ball off. Sun defense do a pretty good job as there's 4 or 5 orange sweaters in on that play there as they corral Henderson after a minimal gain on 1st down. And you got to think they got to start to make something happen here, as I just don't know if these short gains here to the Raider backs are going to do what they need to have done.
Yeah, no, and I mean they've still got better part of the full 4th quarter to make something happen. But considering the previous 3 quarters they haven't, they are running out of time. They got to start getting something going. But we're seeing high snaps on both sides with the offenses now, the Sun and Raiders, and they got to quell that because it screws up the timing of the offense. 2nd and 8, LeBears are going to take a shot in the direction of Marcel Grant. Ball will be incomplete. Raider bench looking for a flag on the play. There are none. I didn't see a whole lot of contact there. I think they might have been reaching there, as it didn't look like there was any contact. No, look, there was just 2 guys battling downfield. They weren't impeding on each other, so I think that's a good non-call. But, I mean, LeBears put a lot of air into that. The kid's got a strong arm. That was to the wide side of the field, and it was deep downfield and a lot of air under it to try and force Grant, but to help Grant run open, and there's just a little too much power on it.
So once again,
lots of 2 and outs.
Lots of 2 and outs, and just kind of Sun kicking from midfield, Raiders kicking from their goal line. That seems to be the theme that we've seen quite a bit here today, as Moran will try and get his foot on this one. Another low line drive kick to his left. Takes a Raider bounce. That's probably as good as what you're going to get on a net there, as that one goes out of bounds. The Raider 40-yard line with no return. And that's the theme of the day, is the Sun have been scrimmaging from the Raider 40, Raider 50, midfield. And the Raiders can't get that 1 play or 2 plays stringing together to tip the field. And even if they could, their kicking game hasn't allowed them to do what the Sun have been able to do with their punting.
No, unfortunately, their kicking game and their offense right now is putting a lot of pressure on their defense. Yeah, they're still within 2 scores, down only 16-0. But the way the 2nd half is progressing, it's just a matter of time before the Sun put up some more points, because they're just getting better and better and better field position.
Oh, a bad miscommunication there, as Britton's going to pick it up. He's going to be in big trouble. He's going to be buried around his own 48-yard line. Snap looked to be okay. It was the exchange between Banfield and Britton, and that looked like a bit of a mishap there, as that'll be a costly loss for the Sun, pushing them back after on 1st down.
And as I say, a lot of pressure on the VI Raiders defense. They say, no problem, we'll just take away 8 yards on this first play. So good job on them to swarm towards that and not allow. They're still getting pressure, getting past that O-line and beating their one-on-one pass rush opportunities. So when there is a jumbled snap or a botched handoff, they're in the grill of the quarterback or running back right away and take advantage of the mishap.
2nd and 18 will call it for the Sun. I'd be looking in the direction of number 83, O'Shea, but we'll see what the Sun do here. As the Raiders look to be coming on the blitz, the Sun pick it up quite nicely. Britton's going to be flushed out. Got a long way to go to get a 1st down. Now he's got to tuck it, get what you can. He does spin away from a man or 2.
Ooh, I think he's got it.
No, he's way short.
Oh, no, sorry. I forgot they lost 8 yards.
He got about 8. He got the original loss back on the play, but he got about 8 or 9.
I was looking at the wrong flag, yeah.
Good run there by Don Britton, as he was able to spin away, get what he can. And, in that situation, he probably knows he's short of the 1st down, but maybe he's thinking if he can get his field goal kicker in range,
yeah,
you never know. But he will get the 8 yards back. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Sun, and I think I see number 7 Wagner back on the field again, as I don't see their field goal team on the field.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be too risky to try a field goal.
No need. The way your defense is playing, just keep.
Yep.
And once again, Will Adams now stands a good 15 yards in his own end zone. And he's probably getting tired of looking at those goalposts. Wagner's going to get set here. Good snap here. Puts his right foot on the ball. Another angling kick towards the sidelines. That's going to go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark. It's probably going to be inside the 10-yard line. It is at about just outside the 10-yard line on our near side. So good kick there by Wagner. Once again, the VI Raiders will be scrimmaging deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and it's time for the Raiders offense to get a drive going. They got to get a touchdown. Time is running out for them. They haven't been consistent enough to know that, hey, we can march down the field and get what we need to force the Okanagan Sun's hand. But yeah, it's going to be a long drive. You know, they're deep in their own end, but they've been playing the majority of the game deep in their own end. But it's time for the offense to make some plays, time for them to complete these mid-range and deeper passes, open up the field for the run game, and start getting some first downs and control this clock a bit and put a touchdown on the board.
The Bears, in quarterback still, 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Henderson stands behind him. They try a quick throw there. Don't know where that one is going. Not sure if that was deflected. The Sun looking for an intentional grounding call.
I mean, it seemed, I was going to say it seemed similar, if not even more blatant than the one that went against the Sun in the first half. So
I was thinking of it, like I didn't know if that was deflected off of anything, but obviously not. And I was going to say there wasn't a receiver.
No, I think he was just chucking it away, but it was way. And again, it didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage as well. So
that one a little more obvious on the play.
Yeah.
Than Dom Britton's in the first half there, as that would be intentional grounding against Jake LeBears. It'll be a loss of down, so second and very long for the Raiders. And the fear here is if you don't get the first down, you're probably giving up a safety, and now it's a 3-score game. So that's the problem that the Raiders are looking at. And even right now at a 2-score, it's a tall mountain to climb.
Absolutely, and to have a 2nd and 10 because of an incomplete pass is one thing, but to have intentional grounding is huge because you're losing the yards and that down.
Second long for the Raiders. The Bears going to throw one out there. Sun will give that up all day. If it was complete, it is incomplete on the play as he was looking in the direction of, looks like Bonaplume.
Yeah,
that'll be an incomplete play. Even if he had it, he was going to be well short of the first down. But now the Raiders, there is a flag in the end zone, so not sure if that's in the vicinity of a hold or maybe a rough in the passer potentially.
Yeah, I stopped looking at LeBears once the ball was in the air because it was a long pass and it was thrown short, and I thought Wagner was closing quick to make a play on it, but I don't know if it might be rough in the pass.
It's going to be a penalty against the Raiders, and it's just a matter of the Raiders. The Sun seem to think there could be a safety because if it's a holding call in the end zone,
that would be a safety.
It would be a safety. So the Sun are waiting for that signal. The Raiders are sending out their punt team, I believe. So it looks like it's going to be probably a hold and will probably be declined. Yeah. So the Sun were still looking for the safety, but to no avail. So I think they're going to get it either way on this play right now. But typical, the defensive guys like to get one of those when they're on the field there. But I think the special teams will probably be getting the 2 points here after this snap.
Well, that's just it. And if the Raiders had a kicking game like the Sun, if you know you're going to get a 40 or 50-yard punt, you keep it a 2-score game. But when you know you're not, try and stem the offense from putting up bigger points on possibly a touchdown and take your, lick your wounds and get back out there and try and regain the field position again.
Another flag on the play here. I'm not sure what this one is, as it didn't look like there was anything happening. It's right in the end zone there, so I'm assuming whatever happens here, they pick it up on the play. The Raiders concede the safety for now. The head referee is speaking to the Raider, but now he's coming over towards the Okanagan Sun bench. Watch for this call. Right now it's...
Unless they rough it, dead ball foul. Block to the waist. Number 7. Raiders.
A cut block on a giving up safety.
After the options by Okanagan Sun.
So that's a strange call, like you said,
that doesn't help the Raiders.
No, when you're going to give up 15 yards now, so the Sun are going to get, once again, very good field position.
Yeah.
So you take the safety with the hope of getting yourself a little bit of green grass in your favor, and then you take a 15-yard penalty like that for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
When you're taking a knee in your own end zone. Not a good penalty to take, and now the Sun will be kicking off. So the Sun will take the ball at the 35, so now they'll get the ball at the 50 after the 15-yard penalty.
That's huge. Huge break for the Sun, and an unfortunate circumstance for the Raiders when, okay, we're going to try and stop the bleeding as much as we can, give up 2 points, get our team back out there and try and regain the field position, and then you give up an easy 15 yards.
Now Sun are scrimmaging almost around midfield again, but at their own 50-yard line. So that sequence didn't work out well for the Vancouver Island Raiders, but Sun now lead 18-0, as you can see here, and scrimmaging with the ball on their own 50-yard line. Britain's in the shotgun, hands the ball off straight off the left side. Banfield, good surge there by the Raider wall on defenders. As he looked to have a head of steam as he hit the line of scrimmage, but the Raiders do a good job of just stacking that one up and limiting the game to maybe a couple for the Sun.
Yeah, the linebacking core for the Raiders are keying on that run and really swarming well. So is that now an opportunity for the Sun to start doing some really hard fake play action pass to make those linebackers bite and hold their ground at 3 or 4 yards and then start dumping the ball over their heads?
Gain of 2 on the play. Once again, no Malcolm Miller here in the second half. Actually, for most of this game in the first quarter, Malcolm played, but haven't seen him since. But 2nd and 8 for Sun. Raiders are coming with a blitz. Ball is out quickly in the direction number 6. He's got enough for a first down. Now he's in open field. Look out, he could be down. He's thrown out of bounds right in front of the Okanagan Sun bench. That's Tanega with a huge, Tanega with a huge play as he made a catch and then just turned on the wheels. Showed what he's got, and that's a big play by the Okanagan Sun.
And there was good pursuit by the VI Raiders, but the initial receivers for the Sun had a great block and allowed him to get out there, and they just split those 2 blocks. And I think, so McNally Hardestay, the all-star stalwart for the VI Raiders defense, he had a pursuit angle, but those initial 2 blocks allowed Tanegay to just hit that like full head of steam and get a monster yards after catch.
Good wheels for Tanegay. Sun knocking on the door again. Play fake. Britain's got all kinds of time. He's going to take a shot. Dangerous throw, but he's got his man down near the goal line.
Oh, right at the 1 yard line.
Looks to be around the 1 yard line. Is that O'Shea?
Zakala, the big man. He reached up and got it,
85, not 83 on that play. There was 2 Raider defenders there, but kudos to the big man, Zakala. He was able to come down with that, and the Sun are knocking on the door.
And that's a great ball by Dominic Britton. He put it in a spot where he knew that's a big man. If I throw it high, he's going to out-jump everybody on the field, and that's exactly what Zakala did.
Good to see the Kelowna product making a big play there. He had a big catch last week in the game against the Langley Rams here near the end of the game. Big one there for Zakala, and the Sun are knocking on the door. Britton takes it right up the pot. He's going to be in for a touchdown, as that's Dom Britton going straight ahead. And you got to think this VI Raider defense is a little worse for wear as they've been on the field, short-fielded a lot tonight, and the Sun expand their lead.
Yeah, the VI Raiders, just a matter of time. 90% of this game they've been bend, don't break. They've only given up 16 points. Really, only 9 points because the Rouges kind of came on their watch, but that initial 7 points didn't. So the defense, for the most part, has done a good job, but there's only so much you can do when you're constantly losing the battle on that field position, and there's nothing easier for an offense to work with than a short field.
Liam Atwood adds the extra point. That will extend the Okanagan Sun lead to 25-0. They're in complete control of this. And I think, when we talked about it off the opener, we thought this might be a higher scoring game. We certainly thought the Raiders were going to be able to get some first downs, get some points, but to their credit, they played well defensively. But I think when they review this game, they're not going to be very pleased with their offensive production at all today. And I think if they're coming into this game, they were probably more about the defensive side of the ball than the offense, but I guess that's why the games have to be played.
Exactly, yeah. I think I agree with you. I think they're definitely going to be disappointed in how their offense performed, because even if the offense is a little bit better, the way your defense is playing, you wouldn't have lost the field position battle, and it might have maybe stayed like 10-0 or 14-0 without the Rouges or something, right? So the opportunities for them to stay in this game were there, and unfortunately their defense did it, but their offense didn't help them, and of course their kicking game certainly didn't do them any favors as well.
8 minutes left here, fourth quarter. Wagner will be kicking off from his own 45-yard line as he hits a high kick right down the middle of the field. I believe that's Will Adams around his own 10, comes straight up the field. Ooh, ducks underneath one man, and he's buried around the 26, 27-yard line. There was a host of Okanagan Sun defenders there as Will Adams just got underneath the first defender.
As Michael McDonald came flying in there and he saw that heat coming and was able to duck under. Yeah, it would have been a bigger stick for sure.
45-man rosters now, so you see a lot more guys on the special teams, like guys like Tyler Goyen. I just saw it down on the field there as well. So when the benches condense a little bit, you start to see more of the starters get some team action as the playoffs start happening here in the BCF. Then if you get to the national games, you're down at 40-man roster, so it even gets a little tighter when you're putting your roster together.
Absolutely.
So Raiders needing something here fast as we're at 8 minutes left, fourth quarter. LeBear's in the shotgun, hands the ball off right side. Jason Henderson plows forward ahead, gets some positive tackles. Tyler Goyen takes his legs out from under him before Henderson can really get going on that play as he darted in and made a nice tackle there. Gain of about 4 or 5 or 6 even by the Raiders as they'll be in hurry up now.
Yeah, they got to start definitely pushing the tempo and trying to make some kind of semblance of threatening to put points on the board.
LeBears looks down the seam, ball was tipped. That was Peyton Ryder right there looking for something. Tyler Goyen in the vicinity as well. As dangerous pass there by Jake LeBears. He couldn't thread that one in.
Yeah, good zone drop coverage by the defense, the linebackers for the Okanagan Sun. Drop back, he's got no threat in front of him, just keep settling. Read the quarterback's eyes and where the receiver might settle in that zone between you and your halfback, and then make a play on it. That's exactly what Ryder did.
Ryder's been pretty good for the Sun, and I know talking to Coach Jamie Borum, he really likes him. Good young linebacker with Tyler Goyen graduating next year. It's nice to see a guy coming up, and good things I've heard about Mr. Ryder.
Yeah, he plays the run well. He's a tough kid, and he understands the pass coverage game as well.
So Raiders will be punting again. O'Shea stands around his own 45-yard line. Ooh, kick off the side of the foot there. That's going to be big trouble as that goes out of bounds. Sun will be scrimmaging around the 46-yard line.
Tough.
O'Shea doesn't even have to put his hands on the ball there, and the Sun are going to get good field position at the Raiders' 46-yard line. And the kicking game, like I said, we've been stressing all day. That's a big part of this football game.
Yeah, you're getting 2 and outs by your offense. Your kicking game's not helping you, and it's just, as we start looking at how we're getting about, halfway through this fourth quarter and at 25-0 lead, the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit on the Raiders, unfortunately.
And for your defense, it's here we go again. And in the first half, they responded well, and kudos to that Raider defense. They were able to hang in there, limit the damage. And like you said, now it's just becoming hard here as we're past the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Raiders look to be blitzing with the house here as they're coming after Don Britton. He's able to get it in the flat to Tonagay. Nice open field tackle on the far side. I think that's Lennox Murray, 21, I believe, on the far side. It's far on that far side of the field, but good job there by Britton as he was able to get out of the pocket, find Tonagay.
And that's
beauty. That's Sibley.
That's Sibley, yeah.
And it was Lennox Murray, 21, with the tackle. So.
And that's a beauty catch and run. So obviously you feel the pressure, get your quarterback out of the tackle box, have him throw on the run because he's very accurate throwing on the run. But he threw to the outside shoulder of a receiver at full speed, and he just simply catches it and keeps that momentum. That was a huge catch and run.
Sibley, number 9, picks up 9 for the Okanagan Sun as they'll be 2nd and 1. Blitz looks to be coming again for the Raiders. They've Sun pick it up beautifully down the middle of the seam. He's got his man. That is Sibley again. Right down the seam as that was a shot, and that great throw by Don Britton. Sibley was able to get inside. That's a touchdown for the Okanagan Sun, 31-0 with the extra point coming. Kudos to that Sun offensive line. They picked up that blitz beautifully.
We've seen 3 big passes like that over the shoulder of the receiver, 2 of them for touchdowns. The accuracy by Dominic on that is just brilliant. Right over the shoulder, keep the receiver in stride. Great concentration on the receivers to track that ball while he's running full speed. They make it look easy, and that certainly by no stretch of imagination is easy, so kudos to the Sun to strike really quick.
Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. That makes the score 32-0. Okanagan Sun leading the Vancouver Island Raiders as they're in complete control of this one. And the other thing, if you're an Okanagan Sun fan or player, you gotta like the way that Don Britton has played tonight. 2 interceptions in the first half to McNally, hard to see one thing. But like you said, he's starting to showed some great things in the second half last week against Langley Rams. They got to feel pretty good about how he's played the position, because if they can get any kind of defense, they could be a pretty balanced football team with O'Shea and Malcolm Miller in the backfield and O'Shea catching passes. Now you see Sibley, Tonagay. They've got a lot of weapons that they can throw at you.
Absolutely. They're very, very deep on the offensive side of the roster. And to your point, Dominic's stepped up as the leader in the backfield. You know, when you've got a threat of Britton and Miller and you lose one of them, you expect the other one to say, okay, guys, jump on my back. I'm going to carry us. And that's exactly what Dominic has done in the second half. So it shows his poise, it shows his leadership, and it shows his talent of the second half that he's been able to help his team with and control this game and get a victory in, you know, the semifinals of the playoffs and keep building on that momentum going into the continuation of the playoffs.
Sun will be kicking off again. Isaac Wagner, down to Dylan Pye around his own 5-yard line, comes straight up the field, tries to stop, cut. Oh, he's brought down to good downfield coverage again. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play here. Nothing looks to be coming to that, but again, Raiders can't even crack one on special teams too, because you got to think if they haven't been able to get a return past the 35 or 40-yard line to give their offense a little bit of breathing room. They've constantly been fielding kicks and starting their offense at their 20-yard line, 25-yard line. And that's just not going to get it done against a good defensive team.
No, you got booming kicks on kickoff and punt by the Okanagan Sun that doesn't allow the Raiders to set up their return blocks. You get lousy field position, and you get an offense that is consistently now, especially in the second half, and deep into this fourth quarter doing 2-and-outs, it's not going to help anybody. I don't care how talented you are.
Raiders still with the ball here at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. The Bears giving directions to his receivers. As they fake the handoff, now LeBear's going to roll to his right, looking for somebody. In big trouble there as he's cut down nicely on the play. It looks like number 20, Tyler Goyne, as LeBear's very slow to get to his feet. As Tyler Goyne just made a really nice tackle on LeBear's before he can get away.
Yeah, and good coverage by the Sun downfield. Yeah, good job on Goyne to come down, because on the pressure they stunted inside, so they lost contain on LeBear's, and he's equally talented as throwing on the run as Dominic Britton is for the Sun. But it's just good coverage downfield, and that allowed Goyne to leave his coverage responsibility and come up and put pressure on LeBear's. It's just too bad LeBear's just decided to throw it away. Instead of getting a loss of 4 or 5, it could have been 2nd and 10, now it's 2nd and 15.
So 2nd and 15 here. LeBear's still in the shotgun. Sun look to be coming here. They do come with 5. Ball was a little bit behind Dylan Pye. He wouldn't have had enough for the first down anyway, but that ball was a little bit behind Dylan Pye. He wasn't able to pull it in. That will bring up 3rd and 15, and decision time again for the Raiders as they look to be going for it here with just under 5 minutes left. And I guess you just kind of limit the damage here and kick this one away, or?
I would just kick it away, absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't want to risk giving the Okanagan Sun even easier field position. Even if they completed that previous pass, both Small and Marino were there, it wouldn't have been much of a gain. But yeah, to go for it here now, with still so much time left on the clock, it's a tough situation for your offense.
3rd and long, ball is thrown, almost incomplete on the play. Looking for Marcel Grant off of his hands, and the Sun almost had an interception there.
Once again, your Okanagan Sun would like to thank Jamie.
As that was a dangerous play. Again, he wouldn't have had enough for the first down. And again, now the Sun are probably their best field position of the night. As we're nearing the end of this one here, and late in the fourth quarter, Sun have good field position. And you see Alex Douglas now coming to the game as Dom Britton tonight appears to be done for the Sun.
Yeah, they can just keep the ball on the ground, move the ball downfield, keep the clock running, give Alex Douglas some reps and here in the playoffs, but allow him to get a run game in behind him and protect him a little bit.
So Douglas now in the shotgun. He's got Banfield behind him. Low snap. Douglas is able to pick it off his shoestrings. Now rolls out to his left. Throws a bit of a sidearm throw. It is incomplete on the play. Interesting play there as Douglas kind of sidearmed that here. We'll see it on the replay after the low snap. Picks it off his shoestrings and then comes out to his left and almost zings this sidearm in the direction of number 10 for the Sun.
Milano.
That was Milano.
And not a bad attempt by Douglas, coming off cold off the bench, and that's your first pass. It's fairly accurate. It was on the run and across his body a little bit to try and throw him open. And if it was another yard deeper, it would have been a little higher and an easier attempt for Milano to complete it.
2nd and 10, Sun. Douglas has a little trouble with that snap as well. Was able to get it. Now he's going to get brought down. Nice defensive play there by the VI Raiders. I think that's number 69, Atondo. with a big sack there as Douglas was bobbling that snap, and Tondo's been pretty good in the middle there for that Raider defense tonight, and he was able to get in there and make a big sack, bringing up 3rd and long for the Sun, and this will likely be the field goal team coming out for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, if you're the Sun, any opportunity you can get your field goal team out there to get the points, do it. Atwood's been very good all season. He's an all-star for the conference. But as you get deeper in the playoffs, any opportunity to try and get 3 points, you take it.
28-yard field goal for the Sun. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up. Line drive kick, and that one's wide to the left. And that'll be out the back of the end zone there for another rouge for the Okanagan Sun, as they will now lead 33-0. As a bit of a line drive kick by Atwood, as that one had plenty of distance but just went left of the uprights.
Yeah, he'll be a little disappointed with himself. That's 2 tonight that he's pushed to the left, so he's going to obviously want to reevaluate his kicking mechanics and his accuracy as the week of practice goes on next week, going into the finals of the Cullen Cup. But yeah, he's going to be disappointed in himself not putting those points up.
Langley Rams still leading big at home against the Valley Huskers, so they look to be punching their ticket, as do the Okanagan Sun punch theirs to the Cullen Cup. I think these two scores will probably held up, so looks like a potential really good rematch of a game a week ago. This time, unfortunately for the Sun, it will be in Langley though, so that's what we're looking ahead to. But the Raiders will have some work to do here as they'll hand the ball off. Minimal gain, maybe 2 on the play, as they hand the ball off here. But for the Sun, I think they have to feel pretty good heading in. They beat the Rams, although it felt like a loss last week because of that tiebreaker scenario. But I think they have to be pretty good. That was actually a gain of 3 on the play, so as we hit the 3-minute warning, I think they have to feel pretty good about themselves. A lot has been made about the Langley Rams defense, and full marks to them. They've been dynamite. But the Okanagan Sun maybe has something to say about their defense as well, as it's no slouch.
No, and it's the kind of tilt we're going to want to see for a conference championship too, right? You want to see the number 1 and number 2 team. You want to see the 2 offenses have great quarterbacks, great running backs, great receiving core. The 2 defenses have great studs on the front 7, and they got ball hawks in the secondary. Both teams can kill you on the return game as well. So that's exactly, as a fan of the football, for junior football here in BC, you want to see number 1 and 2 go against each other.
Play action pass. LeBear's in big trouble again. He's able to spin his way away from it. Lots of green grass in front of him as Jake LeBear's heads to the sidelines. He's going to be close to the first down.
I think they'll get it where the ball, just as he extended the ball. Yeah.
He's past the line there. Good job by Jake LeBear's in Jake's, what looks to be Jake's final game. It's been a pleasure watching him play for the last few years. He's been a true veteran warrior for the Raiders, and Jake is top-notch for him, the all-star quarterback this year, and somebody of the Raiders, he's broke a record for most attempts in his career, and he's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he's an exceptional athlete. He's a great quarterback. He's a great leader. He's the number 1 rated quarterback in the conference. It's just unfortunate that, the rest, I don't say it disparagingly, but the rest of his team, they weren't all on point tonight. They held their own for most of the game, but then just there's only so much you can do when you're giving up that field position against a team that has so many threats like the Okanagan Sun. And as we saw in this second half, they just started putting up points on it.
1st and 10 now. Raiders at their own 45. 4 receivers to LeBear's is right. He's going to hand the ball off, draw play. They've had some success with that. Tonight, ball pops loose into the hands of an Okanagan Sun defender. That's been a bit of the theme of the night. They've had a couple times. This time, ball pops out. They look to have 7 or 8 yards on a draw play, and you can see here at the end of the run, the ball just gets popped out by number 38.
I think that's Marino.
Is that Marino?
Oh, it was Marino. Yeah, that's Marino.
Good defensive play, but they've had some success with that draw play. And again, there they had it, but just trying to make something happen, and it doesn't go their way.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to keep helping your team out every chance you get. Try and get as many yards after contact. But good job on Marino as making that contact. He came in and punched that ball out, and there was just too many defensive players for the Okanagan Sun around there, and they were able to get that fumble recovery.
So Sun scrimmaging again, starting another drive in VI territory. Douglas still in at quarterback, hands the ball up. Banfield missed tackle there. Good run by Banfield. He runs into his own man, keeps going. He keeps charging the legs. That's a
I think that helped him. if he didn't hit Beauchemin, he would have hit the defender and gotten tackled. So Beauchemin actually helped him.
He's wondering what the heck happened to him there. As you can see, he's going, was that a freight train that hit me? And he might have thought it was a Raider hitting him in the back looking for a penalty and didn't know it was going.
Possibly, yeah. But good job on Banfield. I mean, he's a tall, he looks like a tall, lanky runner, but he's got a great center of gravity, and he's very good at keeping his balance, and he's not an easy man to bring down, and whether you're wearing white or orange.
Clock ticking now as we're under 2 minutes now here. Sun still in complete control, 33-0. Douglas in at quarterback. Blitz looks to be coming by the Raiders off the edge. Sun pick it up quite nicely. Douglas is able to roll to that side again. Zips a pass. The receiver didn't look like he was expecting it there till right at the end there. I think that was Beauchemin standing down around the goal line.
Yeah, right at the pylon it looked like, yeah.
And he kind of turned around and the ball went zipping by his ear as Douglas was able to roll to the blitz side. Sun picked it up beautifully. And then, again, he seems to have a bit of a sidearm throw. It's kind of a unique delivery.
It is, yeah. It's almost like he's winding up. He's got a cannon for an arm. But it does look like an unconventional kind of low sidearm delivery from a quarterback.
So second down here. 1:28 on the game clock here. 1:19 on the one at home for you folks. Douglas in the shotgun. He's going to be throwing here again. Looks out to the flat. Ball looked to have been tipped on the play, I think, as it looked like it kind of wobbled out, but it is an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up third down. And for the Sun, maybe another opportunity to see if they can get Liam Atwood going. Again, I think that might be their one area of a little bit concern, that he's missed a couple field goals in the last game and a half, I guess you would say. So we'll see if they elect for the long field goal attempt or if they just punt. And I don't see.
No, I think they're going for
trying the field goal here. Yep. This will be about a 35-yard attempt. And I think, if nothing else, this is a confidence booster for Liam Atwood if he can get this one through the uprights.
Yeah, because I think his longest was 34 for the season, so this will be right in his wheelhouse for sure. And
snap is good again, wide left. And that's if Raiders do bring it out of the end zone. I don't think he made it out. Or if he did, there's a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be a late hit or piling on kind of thing. He was going down, and the Sun defender just jumped on top.
So that's, if you're the Sun, that might be the one area of concern. Hey, if your special teams, obviously you got to be concerned about a very good Langley Rams team next week. But if you're thinking that their field goal team might be something that they're going to spend some time working on this week in practice.
Yeah, they're going to want to make sure that that's automatic. Anytime that you're probably within the 40-yard line, with a quality kicker like Atwood, you want that to be money. You want that to be 95% of the time he's going to get you those 3 points. Because, that's going to matter against that Langley. That's going to matter if you go deeper against Ontario, and that's going to or the Prairie, and it's going to matter if you're playing against the winner of Ontario. So field goals matter in the Canadian game, and you want to see that consistency.
Penalty looked to have been against the Sun and unnecessary roughness, so they will be scrimmaging on the 35-yard line. Ball automatically came out to the 20, so they will add those 15 yards and scrimmage first and 10 on their own 35. And we're going to get set for a big tilt next week. Rams will be hosting the Okanagan Sun. I think that's safe to say at this point, and that should be a good one. The game will likely be on a Saturday. We'll have official times and dates on our social media and website. There's a big run there by the Raiders as they get out into open field. One man back, he's finally dragged down.
That was Becker.
That was Taylor Becker. Really nice run there by the Raiders.
Fresh legs.
Fresh legs. That was their best run of the day, and a good one there.
That was a great run.
He just went off the left side there, got it open field, and just turned the Jets on.
Got untouched coming through the guard and tackle gap there, and there was no linebackers or halfback, and they were busy playing coverage, and great run by Becker.
Big game there for the Raiders, as I'm sure they'd love to get on the board here late in the fourth quarter as we're just at the 1 minute mark here. Hands the ball off again to Becker. He's got another positive, pulls over as an Okanagan Sun defender.
And he's a big lad as well.
He's a big lad. Like, he delivered the shot there, and kudos to him for playing this whole game out, as he was definitely the hammer on that particular play, and a good run there. Another 9 yards for the Raiders. Once again, thanks for joining us on bcfctv.com. Tyler McLaren joined with Jason Casey. It's been a pleasure doing this and being with you tonight as the Raiders do look to get something here. As LeBears is going to throw one towards the pylon in the end zone. It looks like he's got his man.
Beauty. Did he stay in?
Did he stay in bounds? Waiting for the
Let's
referee.
see.
No, he's staying out of bounds. Right by the pylon there.
What a touch by LeBears.
He dropped that perfectly in here, and we'll see what we get on the replay, but the Bears look to drop that one. There was 2 Sun defenders. The Bears look to have dropped that right in between both of them. Number 11, Grant.
Oh, so his lead foot was out. Yeah, that's why. If that ball lead foot was in the air and he was dragging that rear foot, it would have been completion for a touchdown. That's unfortunate.
Raiders look to be wanting to get on the board, break the goose egg for the Okanagan Sun. Scrimmaging now. Second, is that second? Yes, third and 1. As they'll hand the ball up. Becker again, good run there. He's got enough for the first down. He'll be inside the Okanagan Sun 30-yard line here. As we got about 30 seconds left on the clock. Timeout now by the Raiders, and they're trying to get some points here. They want to ruin the goose egg. They know they're not going to win this football game, but there's still things to build on, and I think they want to just put some points up on the board.
Well, it's a sense of pride too, right? So, although some of the Sun roster right now is they got some bench players on the defense, but you know your job on the offense is still to move the ball, get first downs, and get points, regardless of who you're up against. And the pride that obviously LeBears and Becker and Bonaplume and their teammates are showing is that, hey, this game isn't over. We're not just going to lay down. We're still going to try to fight to that last whistle. And if we can crack the goose egg, that's exactly what we're going to do.
And you know, Jake, being the vet that he is, would love to throw one more touchdown pass here
exactly, yeah.
in the playoffs here. He's been a competitor and been in lots of these games. So he came up here to get his 60 minutes worth of football. And that's what you like to see if you're a coach and you got some young guys on your roster. You like to see guys like Jake and Bonaplume and that battling it out and showing your young guys that we're here to play 60 minutes.
Exactly.
So Raiders look to be trying to get in the end zone here. 30 seconds left on the clock. LeBears fakes a hand up. He's going to take a shot down the field in double coverage. Incomplete on the play. I thought he was going to be able to position his body and come down with that.
I thought the way he got up between the defenders.
There was two defenders on the play there, and I thought he was going to be able to make an adjustment. We'll see on our replay. Thought he was going to be able to adjust his body and have the Sun 2 defenders go past him and come down with this, but wasn't able to connect. It looks like
he
Wegner
just wasn't able to tuck it. Yeah.
Wegner made another good play there as you could see him swatting at the ball with his hands there. So 20 seconds left on the clock here. 24 on the official game clock, 20 on the one on our monitor. Sun looked to be coming with a blitz off the offside. Flag on the play. I think the Sun may have jumped a bit early.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Sun were definitely coming with a blitz on our near side, even though the official threw it on the far side of the field. I think they might have got the Sun for an offside here. We'll wait to see. It's in the vicinity of an offside. It might have been a receiver that might have jumped as well, but I think I saw the Sun come across a little bit early. They are talking to the Sun, so perhaps it is an offside against the Raiders.
I wonder if they just decline it then.
They would just decline it.
Yeah, third and long.
So it was Marcel Grant, the receiver on the play, who jumped, and the Sun will decline that. It'll be 3rd and 10. Last gasp here for the Raiders as Sun fans here depart the Apple Bowl happy again, and they're hoping for not their last game of the season. Obviously, if the Sun are able to win down in Langley, there will be another game up here at the Apple Bowl. LeBears now zips it out in the direction of Bonaplume, trying to make something happen. He's going to be short of the first down. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what that flag is. Bonaplume didn't get enough for the first down. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving in this one. We'll see what the flag is on the play. There might be an injured Sun on the play. Might be a cramp.
Just cramping, yeah.
Judging by the reaction there, it looks like something in the neighborhood of a cramp. As you can see by how he's stretching himself out there. Can't see who it is on the play.
I think it's Wegner.
Is it Wegner, number 7?
Yeah.
So that looks to be in the neighborhood of a cramp. We'll see we don't know what the flag is yet.
I haven't seen.
block below the waist, so that will be a turnover. And the Sun will kneel this one out, I'm sure. So a 15-yard penalty against the Raiders as kneel time victory formation for the Okanagan Sun.
Yep.
Again, for those that don't know, the Sun will travel to Langley. The Battle of Rams in the third game of the rematch. I guess a rematch of the rematch. So these two teams split their season series, for those that don't know, and by the exact same score margin. 7-point spread in the first game, 7-point spread in the second game. So if anyone's got predictions on this one, you'd probably be somebody that you should be asking for the lotto numbers.
Yeah.
I think what we can expect is two good football teams.
A great tilt.
Two well-coached football teams. You would suggest a defensive battle between two teams, and should be a good one. Sun will be in kneel down here. One more kneel. As the Raiders hear the chant from the
fans.
Sun.
Yeah.
And their season will end, and it was a good year for the Raiders. They had high hopes with some veteran players, but they're quite confident in speaking to their team. They got a good young core that they're going to be excited about in building with in 2022. That'll be the final snap of the game. The final score of the Okanagan Sun 33, the Vancouver Island Raiders. For the Sun, Jason, I think you got to be pretty happy with this one. You came out of this. We don't know the severity of the injury to Malcolm Miller, but you got to think they're coming out of this fairly healthy. They played pretty good. You're probably going to work on some field goal stuff this week in practice. But I think they did what they had to do. They took care of business and not looking past a VI Raider opponent, even though they fully expected that they would be seeing the Langley Rams next week.
Absolutely. And, to kind of take a look at how this whole game progressed, both teams were kind of quite equal in that first half. They were both kind of missing opportunities and whatnot. The Sun always had that field position advantage, and that's how they got to, the 15-0 lead. But in the second half, the Raiders still stayed at that same level, and the Sun just pulled away. Without Miller, we still saw Banfield come on and do a great job. Dominic Britton was doing a great job of hitting his open receivers. Sibley had a great second half. So I think the Sun just showed the depth of talent they had on their roster, and they were able to just step away from where the Raiders are in most of that second half.
Sun pull away, full marks for the victory. They will now move on once again, play the Langley Rams next weekend. We'll get dates and times for you, and please follow us on the BCFC and Okanagan Sun social media and websites. But all in all, a good game tonight. And once again, Jason Casey, it was a pleasure doing this with you. And
thanks, brother. Yeah, it was a great job.
Lots of
cheers.
fun. Thanks for joining us on BCFCTV.com. For Jason Casey, I'm Tyler McLaren. Thanking you and wishing you a good night, and stay safe.
Successful return for the Okanagan Sun right here. Takes the handoff. He throws towards the end zone.